Yes, we are live. We are live as it gets. We are here for something a little bit different, something a little bit special. We're here for a head-to-head WWE NXT versus AEW Dynamite. Just do it the other way around. NXT versus AEW Dynamite. Dynamite Tuesday night, Title Tuesday on TBS. WWE NXT in its usual time slot, on its usual night, on its usual network, on the USA Network. Some jam-packed shows. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be watching them both at the same time. In front of me right now, actually, ironically, I should probably switch these screens around because that's just going to be crazy confusing. These are the kinds of things you should probably do before you go live, but this is what happens. You know, you can figure these things out. To my left on the screen, as on my left you can see Shawn Michaels, I have a feed of NXT. To my right on the screen, I have a feed of AEW Dynamite. Now, we are early because the shows do not start for 32 minutes as of right now, but obviously there is content to be consumed because AEW, to get a bit of a jump on WWE to fight back against a loaded NXT show tonight, they have a special buy-in. Title Tuesday, Dynamite Title Tuesday features Eddie Kingston versus Minoru Suzuki for the Ring of Honor World Championship as well as the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship. So we're going to be watching that whilst we wait for NXT to start as well. As I mentioned, I'm going to have two feeds going on at the same time, so I'm going to give you as best of a update as I can for all of this, and that's indeed what I'm going to do. Now, I'm just seeing at the moment that AEW's buy-in is just about to start. Of course, as I mentioned, they're saying that it's going to be a 12:30 or certainly 7:30 p.m. Eastern start for Eddie Kingston versus Minoru Suzuki, so we can cover that indeed while we wait. I'll wait for that to start, but as at the moment, we're on a loading screen waiting for that too. And basically, the way I've set up the graphics this evening as well is that when stuff is happening in the ring on both shows, we can update. We can update to inform you what's happening on each channel, where you should go, what you should watch. I mean, obviously it's up to you, but get your thoughts in, get your likes in as well. Super chats, as always, will pop up on the screen with a little bit of a sound, a little bit of a GIF, and it's one night only, but it's sent social media certainly into overdrive, hasn't it? And when I say social media, I also mean Tony Khan. Tony Khan has been on a mad one the last 24 hours, saying all kinds of stuff on social media. It's been a game of chess, certainly, whereby both companies trying to one-up each other. Yeah, WWE loading up the show with the likes of John Cena, Paul Heyman, Cody Rhodes, The Undertaker, Asuka, and more set for NXT. Then you've got, obviously, Dynamite doing Title Tuesday, Adam Copeland's in-ring debut. NXT say, we're doing the first 30 minutes free. Then AEW goes, we've got an overrun, and we're doing the first 30 minutes free. Then they say, oh, and by the way, we've got a buy-in that's happening too. It's all going off. Plus, you then have reports suggesting that Triple H and Shawn Michaels want to send a message to Tony Khan with NXT tonight, defeating him not only in total viewership, but also in the key demographic. Tony Khan then responded to those reports, calling both Triple H and Shawn Michaels bold a-holes on social media, and also taking shots at one Vince McMahon for his indiscretions that have cost him close to $30 million in hush money payments over the last 12 months as well. It's kind of all kicking off, certainly, between WWE and AEW. And then in the last about the last hour, we've had teasers from the likes of Jade Cargill, Grayson Waller, and others suggesting that they could be on NXT this evening as well. So as I mentioned, we are going to have it all covered for you. You don't have to go anywhere. You know, you can do what I'm doing, have two feeds up, you can flip the channels, you can do what you want, but it's fun. Certainly, we get a revisit of the Wednesday Night Wars, which, it must be stressed, you know, history will note down that AEW Dynamite firmly won the Wednesday Night War. So much so that NXT moved nights. They moved from Wednesdays to Tuesdays. And my prediction is, and you can get your predictions in the chat when it comes to this, as to who is going to win. Who is going to win this ratings battle? When the ratings come out tomorrow, who's going to win total viewership? Who's going to win the key demographic? Now, just like AEW Dynamite should have won the Wednesday Night Wars, why should they have won the Wednesday Night Wars? They had bigger and better stars on their show. They had Chris Jericho, they had Jon Moxley, they had Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, in comparison to yours NXT's, who's had, Adam Cole's, your Keith Lee, certainly even less exposed, Adam Cole's that they have now in AEW. So AEW should have won that war, and they did win that war. But in the same vein there, I believe that NXT will win when it comes to the viewership and possibly also the key demographic. That's going to be the key one. That's going to be the interesting one. The demo's going to be interesting. My prediction is that WWE has to win. With the amount of stars they have put on that show tonight, John effing Cena, The Undertaker, Paul Heyman, Cody Rhodes, possibly Jade Cargill, possibly others that we don't even know about at this point. WWE really has to win. If they don't win, it will be incredibly embarrassing, one would think, because it's their time slot, it's their night. AEW's out of their usual time slot. I mean, it's still 8 to 10, but they're on Tuesdays as opposed to being on Wednesdays, and they're going up against some of the biggest stars, not only in WWE history, in professional wrestling history. John Cena, The Undertaker. NXT should win this evening. So my prediction is NXT wins in total viewership. The key demo is going to be interesting because 9 times out of 10, AEW does beat, well, all the time, most of the time they do beat NXT in terms of the demographic. NXT has an older audience as opposed to AEW's more younger audience, but that has been coming up in recent weeks and recent months under Shawn Michaels. That was one of the things that WWE wanted Shawn Michaels to improve when he took over NXT from Triple H in the first place, was get a younger audience. So we could see that as well. But my prediction is that NXT wins in total viewership because they should. It's the most stacked episode of NXT ever, but you never know what could happen, certainly. We'll have a look. Anyway, guys, we're getting a match. Here comes Minoru Suzuki on the buy-in for AEW Dynamite. So let's take Tony Khan out of there and let's put in this match. This is what we're going to do throughout the evening. Whatever's on at the time, we can switch. So here, you've got this Ring of Honor World Championship match, this New Japan Strong Openweight Championship match. At the moment, nothing started on NXT, so I have to wait just there. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. You'll see this number hopefully go up higher as the night goes on as well. If you haven't already too, click that like button as well. But here comes Minoru Suzuki. And it must be said, I know this is Title Tuesday. Do you expect any titles to change hands this evening? I can't say that I do, to be honest with you. It would be, I tell you what, it would get people talking, wouldn't it? If Minoru Suzuki won the Ring of Honor World Championship and the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship on the on the buy-in. But do we think this buy-in's going to be totally? Do we think this buy-in's going to be totally effective for AEW? Because we do know actually what is kicking off NXT tonight, and that is Cody Rhodes. Yes, former AEW EVP Cody Rhodes kicking off NXT tonight as well. So AEW's got to do something big. They've got to do something big on this buy-in to hook people in, I think, as well. So I'm not sure if indeed that's going to work. Let's see what the chat's saying as well. Josh in the chat says, believe, believe. Ed says, like, share, and subscribe. Indeed, please do. Actually, let me move this. This is what I didn't anticipate. There you go. Look at that. Everything's got to have its own little spot, doesn't it? And here comes Eddie Kingston. Looks like he what did Stokely Halfway say he smells like? Was it Burger King and Marlboro Lights or something like that? Basically, fast food and cigarettes, which is kind of true. Sean G says a lot of superstars are teasing for NXT tonight. Yes, indeed they are. Actually, we can get you come up on the screen. There you go. Are teasing NXT tonight. The Great 321 says, "What's up, Owen? What's up, the Great 321?" And Mike says, "Owen, I do live in Kansas City. Is that where Dynamite is tonight? Are they in Kansas? I think they are, aren't they?" Lots being made about the crowds and attendances recently, of course, as well, with AEW and particularly Collision. But the bell rings on the buy-in. We're underway. Eddie Kingston, Minoru Suzuki, just over 23 minutes away from going live on the air on TBS. Rick Knox refereeing this one. Hopefully, there's no head injuries, because Rick Knox will just carry on. Eddie Kingston has already taken his straps down. I think we're going to get a battle of chops. Of course, Minoru Suzuki was part of that DDT show on a bullet train recently, wasn't he? which was pretty incredible. And there's a chop by Eddie Kingston to start things off. No collar and elbow tie-up. Minoru Suzuki. Ooh! Overhand chop right on the chest of Eddie Kingston. Let's turn this up a little bit. Whoa! That's another one. That made a sound. Whoa! Oh, he went down to a knee, did Eddie Kingston. Woo! There's another one for you. And Minoru Suzuki, that will take off an areola. Oh, Eddie Kingston, he's not happy. Firing up. Hits him back. Minoru hits one back. It's like a tennis match. They're going back and forth. Oh, fires up, hits another one back. And another one. And another one. One more. Go on, Eddie. Minoru says he's sticking his tongue out. He's sticking his tongue out. He's slapping himself in the face. Said, I don't care. Oh, he just slapped him in the face, though, did Eddie Kingston. And he smiled. He smiled. What a freak. Crowd chants for Suzuki. And the murder... Oh, my God. The murder grandpa... He just knocked him out. He just knocked him out. Minoru Suzuki just hit a forearm to the face of Eddie Kingston. And the murder grandpa just knocked out the Mad King. I think he's not fully out. He's staggered. My goodness me. And another stiff forearm to the face. And Eddie staggering once again. Down to one knee. One more. And he's down again. Be careful if you're knocked out, Eddie. It's Rick Knox as the referee. He's not going to do anything. Oh, look at that. Goes straight down. What are people saying in the chat as well? Arsenal News 7 says, Owen, have you got United View duty tomorrow? Of course I do. Sleep. Who does sleep? Dan Davidson says, bro, Owen, this is like Raw versus WCW used to be the Monday Night Wars. It kind of is, but kind of isn't. I mean, the Monday Night Wars were much, much bigger. And for a much larger audience, certainly, wasn't there? But look, it's always fun to do stuff like this. It's social media, as I mentioned, has reacted absolutely, maturely, as you would expect. They've handled the news of going head-to-head very well and not gone completely tribalistic and weird throughout the whole thing. As Suzuki has just pie-faced Eddie Kingston this time. And another chop by the Ring of Honor World Champion. Might have hurt his hand in the process. And there's another. Suzuki just shaking his head said no. Woohoo! That was loud. Oh, and a big forearm. Now look, there's Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, Karen and Jeff Jarrett, Satnam Singh. I guess they're watching on to suggest that maybe that's going to be Eddie Kingston's next opponent. Eddie Kingston versus Double J. Oh, I don't know about that. Darfor says, I think Hangman versus Switchblade kicks off AEW tonight. Good match to go against Cody. I tell you what, that chat is an absolute disgrace, isn't it? Look at that. Let's fix this from the outset. We'll use Darfor's chat as an example. It might be a bit smaller. Very difficult because it changes size all the time. But hey, there you go. Dan Mazing, one of our members, says, has AEW done house shows in England at all? No, just AEW All In. Arsenal News says, predictions for Cody's announcement? It's a very good question. I'm not sure. I think there's a wide-ranging thing. Lots of people are predicting Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. That's possible. Some people are suggesting he could come in and announce a TV deal for USA Network. Imagine that. Imagine he says we're sticking on USA for 5 more years. He could. Imagine he says we're moving to Wednesdays. Imagine that. Could you imagine? So there's certainly a wide-ranging things. I think the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic probably makes more sense. Chris says Asuka is undefeated in NXT. Indeed she is. Is tonight the night she loses for the first time to Roxanne Perez. She's never lost in NXT. When she was the NXT Women's Champion, she relinquished the championship. She just went to the main roster, said, I'd give up the title. I've done it all. I've beaten everyone. So you never know. That would be a big thing to put on free television, but they're putting a lot of big things on free television. Darford says, does Cody or The Undertaker announce Halloween Havoc? Halloween Havoc's already been announced. 2-night event. Beginning, was it next week and into the 31st? Or a couple of weeks' time? Look at these chops are still going on the buy-in on Dynamite. Look at Minoru Suzuki. Oh, what a chop. And once again, the chops keep coming in. Of course, we've got Swerve Strickland versus Bryan Danielson tonight as well. Wow, what a throw by Eddie Kingston. High and tight on the shoulder. 2. and kicks out does Minoru Suzuki. Maybe that's a match to start off with. I mean, you could be strategic if you were Tony Khan, couldn't you? You could say to yourself, I know Cody's kicking off. Cody's kicking off NXT. That's tough to go up against. But what can I do to go against it? They can do promos. We can do wrestling. Let's put a match on. Let's put a match on. And also, you know, let's make sure that match goes for 20 minutes because it's going to be commercial free. So if they went with, let's say, Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland or Jay White versus Hangman Page, I think Bryan Danielson would be a better option because he's better known. That could hook people because once Cody's promos end, they might go straight to the match as opposed to there'll be a bit of a lull until they set up that match on NXT. Maybe. But it's all very strategic. When you go head-to-head, you start getting a real big strategy, don't you? When's the right time to put stuff in? Who goes at the top of the hour? You know, the top of the hour and the end of the show, both shows have an overrun as well. So it's not going to be a hard 2 hours. I think most likely it's going to probably be 2 hours 10, 2 hours 15, something like that. And the overrun, a lot of the time, can be some of the highest rated parts of the show too. So we're going to get a lot of strategy so far. Well, throughout the evening, rather. Adam Copeland, Edge, making his in-ring debut against Luchasaurus. One would assume that's going to be the main event. Maybe. It might be the top of the hour. Who knows? There's lots of different, again, positions they might want to put certain things. And I guarantee also, too, right, so Excalibur has just announced on the buy-in, I was just paying attention to that then, Excalibur has announced, kicking off tonight, AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday, there will be comments from Christian Cage. So, I guess what they're putting up against Cody Rhodes making a major announcement is Christian Cage addressing his actions from last week. So it looks like they're going promo versus promo, which is very, very interesting, I think. I mean, what do you guys think about that placement? Has that surprised you? Did you expect that to happen? What are your thoughts on that? I think that's quite an interesting decision by AEW to go with that. Again, that's top of the hour. So that's what? 15 minutes time. We're going to be getting Christian Cage with some interesting comments. That's quite interesting. I thought they might go with a match. Yeah, match versus match in that scenario. They're not going in that direction. Certainly very curious. And this is just me realizing that they're going to do that and creating a quick Christian Cage graphic. That's what they're doing as well. But look, this is fun. This is what happens when stuff happens on the fly. You can change things. You can add things in. It's very exciting. Ed says, assuming there'll be an Edge run-in to pop the rating. Perhaps. I mean, just for him to do a straight promo with no response seems, would to me be a bit unlikely. I don't know about you, what you guys think about that. But I don't know about you. This is the thing. People get really defensive about shows going head to head and counter programming. I don't mind. I'm not a fan of counter programming, but what I don't mind, and again, this is people's perception. It's up to you whether you agree with this or not. But what I don't mind is shows putting on the best possible show that they can. You know, isn't that what we're all looking for as wrestling fans? Aren't we looking for shows to put on the best possible shows every week? Aren't we, as the viewer, looking Hurricane, the Hurricane by Eddie Kingston? Oh, he kicked out. I was surprised. Eddie Kingston didn't see that one coming. By the way, that's my Christian Cage graphic. Right, that's set up. That's ready as well. We are ready to go. Oh, and another Hurricane by Eddie Kingston. Cover. Oh, he kicked out at one. Suzuki's all fired up. I thought even the 2 count. Oh, look at Minoru Suzuki's chest, by the way. Once again, the crowd's chanting for Minoru Suzuki. And he's, once again, trying to get back to his feet. Eddie Kingston, Minoru Suzuki just smiling at each other, going to war. Another Hurricane, ducks, missed it. Oh, and he hit him again. Oh, and a jumping enziguri. Suzuki still on his feet. What's this? Oh, Northern Lights bomb. What was that? 2. And Eddie Kingston wins. His finish looked like shit. But there you go. Juan Cholo says, Loose Cannon Pillman debut. We might see a Brian Pillman Jr. debut tonight. Curvin says, what's so special about the rating? Well, I think if there was nothing special about the rating, both shows wouldn't be trying to load up their shows. It's something that in a TV rights renewal year, it's a big feather in your pocket. NXT, they've been loading up the shows recently to get bigger ratings and get bigger viewership so they can go to whoever it be, NBC Universal, USA Network, to Amazon Prime, to Disney, to whoever, and say, look, this is a show that does pretty good ratings. In fact, when we went head-to-head with our biggest rival, which is AEW, domestically, we beat them head-to-head. Our third brand beat them. It makes us look better. Meanwhile, AEW, they can go to Warner Bros. Discovery and said, when we went head-to-head with these big characters, with John Cena, with Paul Heyman, with The Undertaker, with Cody Rhodes, we beat them in the 18 to 49 demo, not total viewership, but we beat them in the demo, and that's what most important. They can do all that kind of stuff, you know. So that's why, you know, it's about television. Television money is the biggest driver, of revenue for pro wrestling companies nowadays, because the television contracts are so big. I mean, the contract that WWE have got to bring SmackDown back to USA Network is, what is it? Is it 1.3 billion? Might even be more than that. It's a significant amount. Or was it 1.7? It's a lot of money, basically. And it's a huge driver, particularly for a company like AEW. It's a massive revenue stream for them. As Minoru Suzuki and Eddie Kingston face off in the ring at the moment after the match. They shake their heads. And Minoru Suzuki claps for Kingston. Oh, and he just slapped him on the chest again. They're chopping each other again. Oh, and then they hug. Two chops and a hug. And Eddie Kingston raises the hand of Minoru Suzuki. By the way, Minoru Suzuki's chest looks absolutely red raw. Oh my goodness me. As both men leave the ring, and Eddie Kingston, of course, retains his Ring of Honor World Championship, his New Japan Strong Openweight Championship, which we knew that was going to be the case. But that's the buy-in. The problem is now, AEW's got what, 10 minutes still to film. So what's to stop people from going from this buy-in? What's to stop them going from this buy-in to going on USA Network? You know, how are they going to do it? Uh-oh, Eddie Kingston. There you go. Eddie Kingston just grabbed the headset. He said, ladies and gentlemen, don't be stupid. Watch Dynamite tonight. Eddie Kingston sweating all over Excalibur. He was sweating all over Taz as well. So there you go. Arsenal News says, you got 2 TVs, Owen, to watch both. I've got a fine setup in front of me at the moment. I've got, obviously, to watch Dynamite here in the UK. Watch it live. You have to watch it on Fight TV. So you have the Fight TV stream up to my right. To my left, I am a Virgin Media subscriber. That's my cable provider here in the UK. So for that, they actually do quite a good service when it comes to this. If you have Virgin Media, you can watch a stream of whatever channels you subscribe to, or you pay for rather, on, like, I think it's called like Virgin Go. So because of that, I've got TNT Sports to my left, and I've got both shows live and legally as well. Very impressive in 2023. I know. It is. Look, Owen Wrestling News 365 is all above board. That's what it's got to be. That's what it's got to be. We're 30 subscribers away, by the way, from 14,400. So if you haven't already, please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, as well as click that like button. We've already got 40 people watching. The likes are pretty good, actually, too. 31 likes with 40 people watching. So if you haven't already, click that like button as well. Let me put a poll in the chat. Now, you know, put your tribalism to one side. I think the WN365 community is pretty good at calling it down the middle, but I'm going to put in who will win. It's difficult because there's permutations. I could say who wins the ratings, and then you could say, well, what do you mean? 18 to 49, total viewership. Let's just go with total viewership. Let's say who gets the most viewers. What the hell was this? Tony Khan. Jon Moxley can't be cleared. He's... Oh. There is going to be an international championship match. Rey Fénix is going to defend the championship. Coming up next on TBS. Is it going to be Orange Cassidy? Tony Khan. He says he guesses. He's sure. Happy birthday, Tony Khan. Oh, and he's giving him a crisp. He's got Doritos. So there you go. Some breaking news coming out of AEW Dynamite already. And that is Jon Moxley is not cleared to compete tonight after sustaining that concussion back at Dynamite Grand Slam against Rey Fénix. Because of that, he is being replaced by none other than Orange Cassidy tonight. So that international championship match has now changed in the last couple of minutes. So we're opening the show with, guess who? Orange Cassidy. Oh, wouldn't you know it? We're opening an episode of Dynamite with Orange Cassidy. What a shock. Which means I have to change this at the last second. Oh my goodness me. Can I do it under the pressure? Not the pressure, Owen. Where's Rey Fénix? Because you've got to have these match graphic rights. Now, the question is, how do people feel about that? Do you feel a bit slighted? How long do you think they knew that Jon Moxley wasn't going to be able to compete? Did they book the match last week hoping that he would be cleared, get him to the arena today and find out that, oh, he's not cleared? Surely they would have found out not that long ago. Well, not 10 minutes ago that he's not cleared. They would have surely have figured that out, right? I don't know. I know false advertising in wrestling. Shocker, I know. But, and look, if that's going head-to-head with Cody Rhodes doing the opening promo on NXT, it's going to win, unfortunately. So that becomes Fénix versus Orange. Typing my left hand, and I can't do anything on my left hand, by the way. Not because there's anything wrong with it, I'm just silly. That turns into this. And they won't even know. They won't even know. I did it. I was doing a poll at the same time as well. It's really all kicking off, isn't it? In this buy, and we're 5 minutes away. Let's go back to the poll. So, who wins in total viewership? Will it be WWE NXT? Damn. Or will it be AEW Dynamite? There you go. Poll is officially in the chat. What are people saying in the chat at the moment? M. Bison says, if there's a Cody promo opening NXT, I'd rather watch that. Chad says they knew he couldn't wrestle. Arsenal's news says Tony Khan got desperate. M. Bison says predicting Orange Cassidy wins it back. Kervin says Rey versus Orange, not really interesting. Vince Davis Studio says my TV is not showing a pre-show for the dub. Doesn't matter. Don't want to see Grandpa that beat on Asuka as a shoot anyway. God. It's on YouTube, that's why. It's on YouTube and I think socials and stuff like that. But we are 4 minutes away, and as again, you can get your votes in as to who you think will win in total viewership. So far, people are saying NXT. I tend to agree. And the thing is, the narrative will be, NXT, the developmental brand, beat AEW's flagship show. But that really isn't telling the full truth, is it? Yes, NXT is WWE's third brand, but by who they've announced to be appearing tonight, that's not really third brand stuff, is it? When you put John Cena and The Undertaker on the show, that's not really developmental show stuff, is it? When you put your biggest current babyface that isn't LA Knight in Cody Rhodes, the biggest merchandise mover in WWE at the moment, which is Cody Rhodes. When you put him on the show, it's not really developmental stuff, is it? And I push back on those people that for the last week have said, "Oh no, WWE, they're not, you know, trying to beat AEW. They're just trying to get a good number." You go, come on. You don't. WWE firmly knows what they're doing. You like, and again, and I don't think that's a bad thing by WWE. I think, why wouldn't you do that? You know, have some pride. You know, I think they underestimated AEW back in 2019 and 2020 and into 2021 as well. They did. They thought their developmental show, as it was, could beat a show that had Chris Jericho, that had Jon Moxley, that had Kenny Omega, that had other people on it. And fast forward into 2023, they realized they've got, actually, you know what? No, if you're going to beat them, you got to do it right. You got to put big stars on the show. And I don't begrudge WWE for doing that whatsoever. I think, you know, so often people say, oh, WWE doesn't consider AEW competition. And then when they do consider them competition and try and beat them, people get angry. So I think this is only a good thing. If anything, given that the AEW product recently has been very cold, because it has, I don't think it's a bad thing for AEW to lose and then realize, actually, from where we were sort of 18 months, 2 years ago to where we are now, we need to be better. Tony Khan's booking needs to be better. You know, Tony Khan's needs to stop relying on title matches and tournaments to improve his product. It's not as hot as it was 18 months ago. Ticket sales and ratings are proof of that. It's not doing terribly. You know, they're still doing pay-per-view buys. They're still doing decent numbers, not the numbers they were 18 months ago. They're still, you know, selling tickets, not as many as they were 18 months ago. And I think a loss might not be the bad thing, the worst thing for AEW. But tonight, WWE NXT should win. Considering the stars they've got on this show, they should win. And again, I don't think that's a bad thing. I really, really don't. And Tony Khan's behavior on social media has been pretty wild the last 24 hours, to say the least. Here we go. I believe this is like your 60-second countdown. We've got over 50 people watching. If you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe too. Bottom right-hand corner, you'll see the live ticker. Making sure my streams are all lined up here as well. TNT Sports 2 here in the UK. Fight TV for AEW Dynamite. I'm just hoping that Fight TV doesn't start doing a madness, because a couple of times Fight TV, that can be... You never know. You never know what you're going to get with Fight TV. A couple of times I've tried to stay up late, watch Collision. They just cut off Renee Paquette, which is quite funny on the buy-in. She was talking, they just faded to black. So we'll be waiting for that. And we'll be ready to go. We'll be ready to go. And look, I can only listen to one thing at once as well. I can see both things happening, but I can only listen to, you know, to one thing at a time. And I'm gonna tell you what I'm listening to at those periods of time. For instance, right now, I'm gonna be listening to Cody Rhodes starting off NXT. He says he's got a big announcement. I want to see what that announcement is. And it looks like what I'm getting right now, it looks like NXT might be going on the air quicker than AEW. Because we've got the NXT, well, the WWE Cold Open happening right now to my left. And for AEW, oh, Christian Cage is up on my screen as well. Oh, it's all going off. Well, Christian Cage is talking at the moment. He's talking about, you know, Swerve Strickland, Bryan Danielson, possible match. But to my left, we see the American Nightmare. So here comes the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and he's in the WWE Performance Center up against NXT, against AEW rather. This is happening right now. I mean, look at this. To my right, Christian Cage. To my left, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Let me know which one you're watching right now. Let me know which one you think is doing a better job right now. To my right, Christian Cage is in the production truck. Christian Cage says Dynamite's commercial free. Cody Rhodes is greeting the fans. Christian Cage just said, one of you assholes start this show. Roll. Credits are rolling right now for AEW Dynamite. I can mute that. As the American Nightmare is signing signs in the Performance Center. M. Bison says AEW for now. Chad Derryberry says NXT. Pyro is going off right now for AEW Dynamite. As Vic Joseph is talking about how unimaginable it is that Cody Rhodes is on NXT. It is kind of wild, isn't it? You know, he was literally a founding EVP of AEW. Now he's going head to head right now. And going head to head with Cody Rhodes, it's not the International Championship match, despite what Tony Khan had said. Instead, we are getting Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland. I said this is the match I thought would go head to head. Because this is probably, I think, the match I'm maybe looking forward to the most. Maybe, you could say Adam Copeland. But this is the match I'm looking forward to the most. So the opening with Bryan Danielson right now. The crowd in the Performance Center is going wild for Cody Rhodes. But head-to-head against them is none other than Bryan Danielson. That is a good choice by AEW. But Cody Rhodes is on the mic right now. This is wild stuff. Cody Rhodes says yeet. Yeah. Lucifer says AEW all the way. Cody Rhodes is getting ready to say what he want to talk about. He says NXT Universe. What do we want to talk about? Well, what's the big announcement? This is the thing. If the announcement is a dud, it could make people tune over. Why couldn't it? As Swerve Strickland is just about to make his entrance, which means we're getting Cody Rhodes head-to-head with the Prince Nana. He's going to do the dance. Get ready. Get ready. Prince Nana's going to do it. And he's dancing. A big pop. I mean, the head-to-head, honestly, I've seen Cody Rhodes doing a promo and Prince Nana giving it this at the same time. It's crazy. Of course, the Rhodes famous in Florida. Of course, Dusty Rhodes set fire to the Florida territory under Eddie Graham. Cody Rhodes has an announcement. What's the announcement, though? This is a key thing. If the announcement's no good, people could turn over. What is the announcement, Cody? Oh, he has announcements. It's a plural. What are the multiple announcements from Cody Rhodes? He says, Cody Rhodes says, we've been enjoying the breakout tournament. Who's going to be the next Tiffany Stratton? Who's going to be the next Rhea Ripley? So, one of Cody Rhodes' announcements is that at the end of that tournament, the women's breakout tournament, there's going to be a men's breakout tournament. Head-to-head, we've got Bryan Danielson in the ring against Swerve Strickland. Match is just about to kick off. Oh, Cody Rhodes says a certain tag team tournament looks like he's about to announce the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Crowd at the Performance Center is chanting for Dusty. Meanwhile, Bryan Danielson and Swerve Strickland got a Greco-Roman lock starting things up on TBS. Cody Rhodes is teasing the Dusty Rhodes Tag Classic. The Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic is also coming back. This is going to be two major announcements. An NXT Men's Breakout Tournament, Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. I mean, it's... one more. We've got one more announcement coming. I was going to say, wasn't really on perhaps the biggest night in NXT history. He has the privilege. Shawn Michaels has made it so tonight. Cody Rhodes is the special guest general manager of NXT tonight. They're loading up the show with 3 announcements. Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, the men's breakout tournament, and he is the special guest general manager. And here comes Ilya Dragunov, the NXT champion, to, I guess, interrupt Cody Rhodes, the general manager for the evening. Meanwhile on TBS, Swerve Strickland and Bryan Danielson are face to face. The crowd are on their feet as the two Washington natives are looking at each other in the eye. Of course, Bryan Danielson, he's got that bad arm, that steel rod inserted into it. And look at Swerve Strickland. Look at him. He's rolling around. Danielson looks confused. And Danielson's going to go for, looks to be a knee bar. Oh, brilliant. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this grappling. Look at this rolling on TBS. Meanwhile, on USA, the crowd are chanting happy birthday for Ilya Dragunov. Dragunov apologizes for interrupting Cody Rhodes. He says he couldn't pass the opportunity up. He welcomes Rhodes to NXT, of course, the special guest general manager for the evening. As Danielson is now just doing a monkey flip. Oh, beautiful. Lands on his feet to Swerve Strickland. Ducks that, goes for a leapfrog. And Swerve, oh, look at that. Beautiful roll through. Duck under, oh, trips Danielson up. Ilya Dragunov says he wanted to meet Cody Rhodes, that's why I interrupted him. Not really sure where this segment's going. Oh, we're getting inside cradles, trading inside cradles on Dynamite. Ilya Dragunov putting over Cody Rhodes at the moment. Talking about fighting with fire and pushing everything he does to the next level. Ilya Dragunov says, it's something I want to do as well. Again, meanwhile, collar and elbow tie-up by Swerve Strickland and Bryan Danielson. Of course, both shows are commercial-free for the first 30 minutes. We're 8 minutes into both shows. Hey, what's going on here, then? Ilya Dragunov looks like he's been interrupted by none other than Dominic Mysterio, the NXT North American Champion, with Rhea Ripley by his side, Mammy, the Women's World Champion. As they make their entrance. Oh, Danielson, big boot to Swerve Strickland's face. And Dominic Mysterio's getting all the heat on NXT. Meanwhile, on TBS, that's a big chop. Trading chops between Danielson and Strickland on the apron. Really trading chops. What a big kick by Danielson to the arm of Strickland. Of course, remember, that's the #1 contenders match for the TNT Championship. Winner's going to face Christian Cage. Of course, we know that Danielson doesn't have a father. Crowd chants, "You suck" to Dominic Mysterio inside the WWE Performance Center. Chris Day says, what could possibly be the purpose of a special guest general manager if the matches are already made? It's a good point that maybe would imply maybe more matches to be made. Maybe some screwy finishes. Crowd are chanting, whoop that trick. Of course, Dominic Mysterio won back the North American Championship last week. And Dominic Mysterio says about energy levels. What about Cody's energy levels when the Judgment Days left him laying? And Ilya Dragunov's now fighting back against Ilya Dragunov. No, Ilya Dragunov's fighting back against Dominic Mysterio. If you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe to bottom right hand corner. Ilya Dragunov tells Dominic Mysterio, shut up. Doesn't like the sound of his voice. Meanwhile on TBS, what? Ilya Dragunov's talking about his son, his dad working in a prison. And he says his dad used to work in a prison, so he knows how to turn a barking dog into a sweet little puppy. Dom's a con. Can't talk about him like that. Although I kind of feel like this promo segment's going a bit long. It's a bit drawn out. I guess we're probably going to be getting at some point Dragunov versus Dominic, maybe, throughout the evening. Meanwhile on TBS, we've still got Strickland and Danielson putting in some hard minutes in this one. So Dominic's challenged him to a match. Champion versus champion. NXT champion versus North American champion. Of course, Cody Rhodes has the authority to make that happen. Cody Rhodes says he's not willing to put his North American championship on the line. No, he's not. Oh, Rhea Ripley's going to grab the microphone. I guess the de facto leader of the Judgment Day. She says that Dominic's been carrying WWE on his back for the entire year. He just won the NXT North American Championship again. Whereas Prince Nana at the moment is cheering on Swerve Strickland. Oh, Ilya Dragunov's interrupted. Ilya says it's a day of celebration. As a gift to himself, he couldn't imagine anything better than eating a man like you alive in the ring. Oh, backbreaker by Swerve Strickland on Bryan Danielson. Look, Swerve's fully in control of this one. And they've got time. They've got time they can put in for this. He's going to go to the top rope, Swerve. Top rope, Swerve. What's he going to go for? 450. Oh, he gets the knees up. Does Bryan Danielson. Wow. Wow, Cody Rhodes has just made it official. Ilya Dragunov versus Dominic Mysterio for the NXT Championship match. That's taking place tonight. Wow. He could become the NXT champion tonight. He says the numbers game. He's not going to have the numbers game. The match is going to need a special guest referee. And who's that going to... Oh, it's not Cody Rhodes. The special guest referee is the hottest star in WWE. Oh my goodness me! The special guest referee for the NXT Championship match between Ilya Dragunov and Dominic Mysterio is LA Knight. Yeah, LA Knight is on NXT tonight, and he's the special guest referee for an NXT Championship match. Ilya Dragunov versus Dominic Mysterio. Oh my goodness me! They're loading up the show even more. Good God. I've got to do another graphic. What is this? Uh-oh, there's John Cena. John Cena has arrived. As I mentioned, the breaking news right now is that we're going to have an NXT Championship match tonight. NXT Champion Ilya Dragunov is going to be defending the championship against none other than the NXT North American Champion. Oh, this is crazy. The NXT North American Champion, Dominic Mysterio. And we've got a special guest referee as well. Wow. Hey, I tell you what, both of them might hold it up. And here comes Roxanne Perez, which means we're getting this match here, which is Asuka versus Roxanne Perez. Meanwhile, of course, still happening right now on Dynamite. And I'm going to shift that back to, I'm going to shift my sound back to what's happening right now on Dynamite, which is Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland. But what an opening segment that was. I wasn't sure really where it was going at one point. I was going, oh, I don't know about this. But it has been confirmed. NXT title on the line coming up later this evening. My goodness me. It's nuts. All of this is going on right now is crazy. Woo. As out comes Asuka, of course, again, undefeated in NXT. Former NXT Women's Champion. Chance of this is awesome right now going on TBS for Swerve Strickland versus Bryan Danielson. This is Dominic Mysterio. Let's get this ready for later on this evening, because I want to make sure you guys know exactly what's on at whatever time, so you know where you can go if you want to watch whatever you want to watch. If you want to just stay with us, you can do that as well. You can do, Swerve Stomp to Bryan Danielson. That was nasty. As Asuka makes her way to the ring right now as well. Again, against the former NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez. We're just seeing this Swerve Stomp right across the chest. That's a really nasty landing for Bryan Danielson as well. That was rough. And Prince Nana's already celebrating at ringside. He loves it. And what's going on here? Shotzi's making her way out at NXT. God, it's everyone's there. Shotzi's now showing up. Shotzi back with the tank as well. It's all going off. Both shows are going crazy to start things off. You've got Cody Rhodes as a special guest general manager as well. Now we know that LA Knight's coming back later this evening too. Back to NXT. Of course, the megastar at the moment too. It looks like there's a heel hook right now. Bryan Danielson's got a heel hook on Swerve Strickland. This is kind of nuts at the moment. Oh my goodness me. How is everybody enjoying both shows so far? Is it as chaotic for you as it is for me? As I mentioned, let's just get this ready so we know that when LA Knight is a special guest referee this evening. Again, that's the breaking news coming out of NXT. Is Cody Rhodes made several announcements, one being the return of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, the other being the men's breakout tournament would be beginning following the conclusion of the women's breakout tournament. He also revealed that he is the special guest general manager for the evening. We have an NXT championship match coming up later on tonight. Dominic Mysterio versus Ilya Dragunov with a special guest referee of one LA Knight as well. So the surprises keep coming, and it does look like certainly that WWE plan on doing a lot more than was just advertised for this evening as well. Shotzi's on commentary with Booker T at the moment. I'm currently listening to Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland, which is still ongoing. That's the opening match of the broadcast that AEW Dynamite are offering as well. Let me just get this here. NXT title. There you go. That's ready. So that graphic's ready for this evening. I tell you what. These both of these shows, right? They're going for it. And I think this is great. I think it's great. I think that both shows pulling out all the stops, doing everything they can to put on the best product possible. As a wrestling fan, how is that a bad thing? As Bryan Danielson is about to kick Swerve Strickland's effing head in, seemingly it looks like. That's certainly his plan anyway. Right now, he's going to go for the stomps once again. And still, those stomps are in right now. Absolutely. Well, that's ready. That's done. Danielson looking for a LeBell lock. It's cinched in. Is this going to be it? Of course, this is a #1 contenders match for the TNT Championship. Meanwhile, on USA Network, we have Asuka with a spinning heel kick to Roxanne Perez and those Kawada kicks right to the head of Roxanne Perez as well. Oh, it's Asuka throwing Roxanne Perez by the hair, and Swerve Strickland has made it to the bottom rope to force the break. This is the head-to-head right now. Let me know what you think. Who do you think has the most viewers at the moment? We had a strong Cody Rhodes opening promo. Took a while to get going, but a big announcement for later on. Then you've got this women's match. Obviously, two big stars. Certainly one in Asuka, big star in it. Oh, Bryan Danielson's gone down. Right. Oh my good God. Swerve Strickland just nearly kicked the head off of Bryan Danielson. Oh, wow. Swerve's going top rope. Swerve stomp right across the chest. That'll be it. He's got it. 2, 3. Oh, Bryan Danielson kicked out. I thought that was it. I tell you what, Swerve Strickland has just kicked the head off Bryan Danielson and a double stomp right to the chest. Somehow Danielson kicks out. And still, this #1 contenders match for the an opportunity to face Christian Cage for the TNT Championship is still going. Meanwhile, we can see Roxanne Perez just teeing off of, whoa, what a big forearm. Another big forearm right to the face of Asuka. Whoa, wow, what was that? By Swerve Strickland too. Oh, and Danielson just about kicked out. That was an incredible counter by Swerve Strickland. Feels like we're heading into the sort of home stretch of this one. But this was the match that kicked off Dynamite 20 minutes ago. It looks like, I think, oh, Prince Nana's, he's had enough. Prince Nana's taken off the jacket. He's taken off the jacket. He's taken off the crown. Nana is furious. He's got a heck of a hairline going on as well. Or a heck of a lack of one. But a crown's been given to Strickland. This might be the closing moments of this here. Get ready. Oh, who the hell? That's Hangman Page. Hangman Page. Of course, Strickland just beat him at Wrestle Dream. Hangman Page getting involved. Uh-oh. Oh, beside Cooley. No, he countered. He's going to roll through. Rolls for JBL Driver. Rolls through. 2. Oh, he kicked out. What a match this is. Uh-oh, hits the corner once again. Psycho knee by Danielson. 1, 2, 3. And Bryan Danielson is the #1 contender for the TNT Championship. At some point, we're going to get Bryan Danielson versus Christian Cage for the TNT Championship. Oh, my goodness me. What an opening match on Dynamite. Absolutely incredible stuff. It looks like certainly the feud between Swerve Strickland and Hangman Page is not over. And it's this Saturday. Wow. Christian Cage, Bryan Danielson, Saturday, Toledo, Ohio. That is a good match. That is an excellent match. Christian Cage versus Bryan Danielson. Wow. And look, there's Hangman Page. Of course, he played a pivotal role in the closing moments of that matchup as well. Unbelievable. If you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe too. If you do subscribe, this will go up at the moment too. And then Hangman just throws the crown back into the ring. It's got to piss off Swerve Strickland. Swerve Strickland looks absolutely furious. Let's get the sound back going for NXT here. As we see Roxanne Perez going for an Oklahoma roll. We're just getting a Samoa Joe. Actually, let's go back to the Samoa Joe, just in case there's an announcement or anything here. Samoa Joe, King of Television. He says soon to be AEW World Champion. So we're getting a Samoa Joe vignette at the moment. Let's take Bryan Danielson off. Let's put Tony Khan back on here as we wait to see what happens next. Joe's going to be involved on Saturday's episode of Collision. Meanwhile on NXT, Asuka, big kick to the back of the head of Roxanne Perez. Goes for a cover, that might be it. And Asuka is still undefeated on NXT. Her undefeated streak isn't going anywhere anytime soon. And she just pats Roxanne Perez as well on the jaw to say, well done, kid. But Asuka wins her match on NXT and isn't giving up her undefeated streak just yet. Uh-oh. Because let's get rid of Tony Khan and let's bring on Chris Jericho, because we're about to get Jericho versus Powerhouse Hobbs. So they're going big. We're going with Jericho, who does do well in the demographics, certainly, for AEW. He did anyway during the Wednesday Night Wars. That's why he called himself the Demo God, because they usually put him at the top of the hours because they knew he did well. We're just seeing the closing moments of Asuka getting the victory over Roxanne Perez with that kick to the head. But the Ocho is making his entrance right now. Of course, last Wednesday teamed up with Kenny Omega. What the hell is this? Shotzi. Oh, kick to the gut. Knee to the head. And another kick. Of course, one of the hosts of Halloween Havoc. Oh, wow. What a DDT that was to Kiana James. That was nasty by Shotzi. Booker T's losing his mind on commentary. It looks like he's going to try and raise she's going to try and raise the hand rather of Roxanne Perez as the crowd on AEW sings along to Judas. And the question is, where do people go now? Do they go to Jericho or do they go with what NXT is offering? We've still got 6 minutes left of commercial-free television on both shows. It's going to get really interesting once we start getting to commercials. Who's arriving right now? And we're just seeing the arrival of none other than Paul Heyman on NXT. There he is, Grey Paul himself. Paul Heyman. Heyman says, should someone tell me what door I'm meant to arrive in at the moment? They're hyping up the main event on NXT, which of course is Carmelo Hayes versus Bron Breakker, Cena and Heyman in the corner of their respective clients, I guess, for the evening. Powerhouse Hobbs is making his entrance on Dynamite. He's got a kinesio tape all over his right shoulder, and he's accompanied by Don Callis, I guess, seemingly member of the Don Callis family at the moment as well. So Powerhouse Hobbs about to get into the ring to face Jericho. And we're just seeing Gallus backstage on NXT. Of course, there's that Pub Rules match that's going to be coming up. The bell's about to ring on Dynamite, and we're just seeing British Strong Style backstage on NXT. Actually, let's get this sound here. I think the best way to do it is if there's talking segments, have the sound on for that, just so you can make sure you know what's the direction things are going in. If it's a match, you don't necessarily need the commentary or anything like that, do you? They're talking about having banger after banger after banger after banger. So it looks like we're going to be getting this pub brawl on NXT at the moment. So the Brawling Brutes are out, of course, that being Ridge Holland, Butch, and Tyler Bate. So we can take off Shawn Michaels and we can put up this graphic right here. As let's switch the sound back to Dynamite. As we've got Powerhouse Hobbs versus Chris Jericho. Oh, in the pub rules match, actually, Gallus have attacked British Strong Style right before the bell's even rung. But Powerhouse Hobbs teeing off on the head of Jericho. So at the moment, we've got this pub brawl versus Jericho and Hobbs. Who do you think? Who do you think? Oh, what a spine buster by Hobbs. Where do you think the viewers go now? Where are you going right now? Are you sticking with NXT because you like a gimmick match? Or are you going over to Dynamite because you like Jericho? Let me know your thoughts about that. We're 1 like away from 50 likes, by the way. If you haven't already, click that like button. Be sure to subscribe to bottom right-hand corner. Let's see if we can get to 14,380. That's only 7 subscribers away. So if you haven't already, subscribe. Oh, no. Butch is going to put a dart through the hand. A dart through the hand? Oh, is that Joe Coffey? Oh, my God. Wow. And meanwhile, on Dynamite, Powerhouse Hobbs is absolutely dominating Chris Jericho. They call him Powerhouse for a reason. Absolutely. Look at this. Oh, Rich Holland's got the fire extinguisher going on NXT. And look at this. Oh, what a headbutt by Hobbs. He talked some smack to Jericho and then just headbutted the Ocho right between the eyes. Tyler Bates got a bowling ball to a trash can. I don't think that would have hurt him. And a crossbody by Rich Holland to a trash can. Powerhouse. Oh my goodness, another spine buster. Look at Power. I think that's the 3rd spine buster that he's done so far. Uh-oh. It looks like Butch is hurt. Butch did a moonsault and he landed badly. He's holding his quad. He might have blown out a knee. He might have tore a quad. That doesn't look good. Don Callis is shouting, hurt him, for Powerhouse Hobbs at Jericho. I think Butch might have a legitimate injury. Let's see if he can get back to his feet. As what's happening right now on Dynamite is Powerhouse Hobbs is just absolutely destroying Chris Jericho. Oh, there you go. Butch has gone through a table. A table with food on it. What is that? Is that snacks? He's gone through a table with pub snacks. Now, there we go. So, WWE have just gone to their first commercial break. They're in commercial at the moment, whereas AEW, I believe, is not in commercial just yet. This is quite interesting. So one would think, and it's not picture-in-picture as far as I'm aware, you would think people might jump over to AEW right now, and they'd be jumping over to Jericho versus Hobbs. So if you were Tony Khan on the headsets, you'd be saying to these guys, right, work, make sure you keep the viewers. Jericho hits the ropes. Shoulder tackle. Hobbs is still on his feet. Another shoulder tackle by Jericho. Uh-oh. Hobbs throws Jericho back into the corner. Splash moves out the way. Jericho. Code breaker. Hobbs goes down. Jericho. Cover. 2. Oh, and Hobbs kicks out at 2.5. Dynamite still on the air. NXT and commercial right now. If you are just joining us, the show opened up with Cody Rhodes doing several announcements, making several big matches. He's the special guest general manager for the evening. It led to Asuka versus Roxanne Perez. AEW opened up with opening comments from Christian Cage. Quickly went in to Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland. Bryan Danielson winning that match. He'll face Christian Cage Saturday on Collision for the TNT Championship. Both shows giving all they've got at the moment. And right now, Christian Cage's former tag team partner and friend, Chris Jericho, down in the ring, being dominated by Powerhouse Hobbs. No, he's going to do it again. Oh my, another spine buster. What's that, number 4? This is like Brock Lesnar with the suplexes. I mean, that might be, what, 5, 6? And it's not even a cover by Hobbs. It's just grabbing the face. Chris Day says it is picture-in-picture on USA. Thank you for letting me know. Over here in the UK, I don't think they really do those picture-in-pictures. That's part of the problem. Well, certainly on TNT they don't. If you're watching the fight feed, of course they don't do picture-in-picture. They just play it out. You don't get ads because you're paying for it. So they don't do ads in the UK for AEW, which makes watching it very good because you watch just 2 hours without commercials. It's fantastic. I mean, you get a couple of commercials, not commercials. You just have to wait for a bit. But Oh, hits the ropes, Jericho. Chop block. Sends Hobbs down. He's going to go for the walls. Looks like he's possibly going to go for the walls. Can he get Hobbs over onto his stomach? Obviously, we are in commercial for the moment for NXT. Picture in picture. And Jericho steps over, sits down. This might be it. He's got the walls locked in. Not easy to do on a big man like Powerhouse Hobbs. Now, can Hobbs power out of it? He's called Powerhouse for a reason. He's trying to press out. And he just can't handle. Look at Hobbs. The strength. He's going to reverse. We're back on the air for NXT. Of course, that Pub Rules 6-man tag team match. Gallus versus British Strong Style. Oh, Butch. Jumping on the elbow of Wolfgang. Oh, look at that. Power slam by Hobbs. Oh, I thought that was it. That was close. My goodness me. I thought they were going to do it. Now, according to WWE, trending #1 in the United States right now, WWE NXT. That's what they're saying. So if they're right, then that would imply that NXT is trending higher than AEW Dynamite. Make of that what you will. What does that say when it comes to ratings and viewership? We don't know. Dueling airplane spins on NXT right now for Ridge Holland and Tyler Bate against... Wow! Oh my God! Hobbs just beat Jericho with his knee on his chest. Wow. I didn't think they were going to do it. Look at that. Powerhouse Hobbs has just beaten Chris Jericho, just dismantled him with a knee on the chest during the Tuesday Night War, head-to-head with NXT. Oh my God, Powerhouse Hobbs has just decimated Jericho. The biggest win of his career. I don't care if Powerhouse Hobbs has been TNT champion. He just beat Chris Jericho with his knee on his chest. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is very, very impressive by Powerhouse Hobbs. And that is a statement by AEW. On a night that you're going head-to-head, when you're trying to get people to watch on either show, Jericho just put Hobbs over clean. And Hobbs, once again, he's picking Jericho back up. What's he going for here? Oh, and a world's strongest slam. Shades of Mark Henry. Spinebusters, world's strongest slams. And Powerhouse Hobbs has just decimated, I said, Brock Lesnar, John Cena-esque. Wolfgang just did a dive and he might have broke his back on NXT, by the way. But Hobbs just destroyed Jericho, defeated him, and pinned him with a knee on the chest. Yes, knee on the chest. The Don Callis family is dominating Jericho and Omega right now. Omega can't win a big singles match. Hobbs just got the biggest win of his career against the Ocho. Wow. Domination. Domination is putting it lightly. Good grief. Well, let's go back to this because right now we're getting a promo package of Adam Cole with the Kingdom. Adam Cole still hasn't got the surgery. Roderick Strong still has a neck brace. He's got what? He's got a cut. Adam Cole's got to cut Roderick Strong's grass. He's got a broken ankle. Roderick Strong says, please. So Adam Cole, one leg and all, is mowing the grass of Roderick Strong. Which is... What does Roderick Strong look like? He's in a gown and he's got a neck brace on. Adam Cole is Matt Taven and Mike... Mike Bennett, excuse me. He did it. He managed to mow the lawn. Roderick Strong says he's got something in the house for Adam Cole. And he's wearing a Neck Strong shirt. Matt Taven's still got a giraffe, because why? He says, well, yeah, what's up with the giraffe? Rick Strong. Oh, it was a get well soon present for Roderick Strong in the hospital. The giraffe is the most neck strong animal in the animal kingdom, not the United Kingdom. Adam Cole says, sorry, he asked. There's no cell service. There's no TV in the house. He want to watch Dynamite. It says it keeps us engaged. And TV is the devil. It's the absolute devil. I mean, what's Roderick Strong doing? Is he running a cult? Anyway, Adam. He's screaming at him again. He just needs one more thing. Just needs one more thing. That's the tease. That's the cliffhanger, apparently. I mean, what a bizarre segment. Meanwhile, the pub brawl is still going on right now in NXT. Gallus are going after Rich Holland. Holland, just dumps the Gallus boys over the top rope. Coming up next on Dynamite is the International Championship. Rey Fenix versus Orange Cassidy. Jon Moxley not cleared to compete. Oh, look at that. Beautiful crossbody over on NXT. And here comes Orange Cassidy. Have they even taken a break? Yeah, I don't think they have. We're 37 minutes into the broadcast. Unless I missed it and they did go to picture-in-picture. Have they even taken a break? I'm not sure. I don't think they have. But it's for the International Championship. The longest reigning International Champion is making his entrance. Butcher's on a table over on NXT. He's grabbed beer. Joe Coffey off the desk of Booker T. What was Booker T doing with the pint? Oh, he just spat it. Oh, he's pouring it. He's pouring the beer. Oh, he just broke the glass. That didn't look good because Tyler Bate grabbed the glass that already broke. I'm not sure that was meant to happen. But we're going to get a triple team. It's like a tiger bomb through the table. Tyler Bate with the cover. 1, 2, 3. And British Strong Style have just won the pub rules. Pub brawl, whatever you want to call it, on NXT. As Rey Fenix is about to make his entrance. But nevertheless, British Strong Style win their match. As Rey Fenix, the AEW International Champion, makes his entrance. Could we see a title change? I mean, many assume that maybe the plan was for Moxley to win it back tonight, but Moxley's not cleared, of course. He's still recovering from a concussion. If you haven't already, click the like button as well. Got nearly 80 people watching. 54 likes, 6 likes away from 60. So if you haven't already, click the like button and be sure to subscribe to bottom right hand corner. Only 6 subscribers away from 14,380. We're just seeing the Becky Lynch memoir, Becky Lynch the Man, being advertised right now. We're just seeing the match that they did have a brief match at Wrestle Dream, didn't they? Of course, he was involved in that, Rey Fenix, but then he was written out very quickly. So we're just getting a Becky Lynch promo for a Becky Lynch vignette, shall we say, on NXT right now. So that means we'll stay with the sound on Dynamite, considering this match is about to begin. AEW International Championship. You can see it right there. There you go, here. There you go. There's the International Championship. You can see it right there. Taz describes the International Championship as a workhorse championship. Is that fair? Would you say that's true? Let's take the pub brawl off and let's put Shawn Michaels back up there. It's his show, of course. Orange Cassidy and Rey Fenix kicking it off with forearms to the face. Oh, a big clothesline by Rey Fenix. And another one. Ducks under the clothesline. Roll through. As I mentioned on NXT at the moment, we're just seeing a Becky Lynch vignette. Of course, she's scheduled to face Lyra Valkyria at Halloween Havoc for the NXT Women's Championship. Oh, wow. Look at that. Did he catch him? Rey Fenix. It was a grazing blow, which means basically he didn't hit him. Oh, and a big kick right to the face by Rey Fenix to Orange Cassidy. Now, Phoenix is going to ascend to the top rope. Once again, holding that back. We know it's injured. Frog splash. 1, 2. Oh, and Orange Cassidy just kicks out. If you are just joining us as well, some big news coming out of Dynamite. One, that obviously that Bryan Danielson is the #1 contender for the TNT Championship. Oh, here we go. On NXT, Tegan Nox is backstage. hard luck being said to Tegan Nox. That's why she's here. She was seconds away from beating Becky. She knows what it takes to beat Becky Lynch. The title match has to wait. Not really sure I'm feeling this promo on NXT. Some of the acting is a bit tough to watch. It's a Lyra Valkyria promo, it must be said. There's a bit of friction between Valkyria and Tegan Nox. Didn't look too happy with the way she was being spoken to right there. Uh-oh! There's John Cena himself. John Cena is walking backstage at the Performance Center. John Cena's coming out next. I've got to make a graphic very quickly. Meanwhile, as I mentioned, guys, at the moment on Dynamite, it is, of course, the AEW International Championship match involving Orange Cassidy and Rey Fenix. John Cena is coming out next, which we didn't think. I thought he was just going to be coming out for the main event. We know, of course. Wow, that depends, of course, what the main event is. We've got a couple of main events right now. We've got obviously the NXT Championship match, which has got a special guest referee as well, none other than the megastar himself, LA Knight. Yes, LA Knight. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of him. You know, one of the biggest stars in WWE right now, the biggest babyface, arguably. That isn't Cody Rhodes. Yeah, he's going to be the special guest referee as well. John Cena, of course, he's going to be on the show later on too. Cena, though, is just about to actually come out, I guess, to do a promo, it seems like, on NXT 2. So, you know, if anyone was watching Rey Fenix versus Orange Cassidy, they might not be. They might not be moving forward, because I think they might, they're going to struggle going up against a John Cena promo. It's not even top of the hour as well. Not even top of the hour, and we're getting a John Cena promo for NXT of all shows as well. It's as I mentioned, it's crazy, but this is what we like. As I mentioned, as a fan, who doesn't like two shows pulling out all the stop, utilizing every single resource that they have? Oh, beautiful DDT by Orange Cassidy against Rey Fenix. Cover. Phoenix just about kicks out. Part of me does feel like maybe, just maybe, we could get a title change there. I don't know. I feel like they might be saving it maybe for Moxley, for when Moxley comes back. But again, anything certainly is possible. That indeed is ready for when Cena comes out there too. Let me turn the sound on for this one here. Oh, Orange Cassidy nearly won. I thought he was going to win the championship there. He's setting him up for an orange punch. Orange punch by Orange Cassidy. That might be it. What's he going for? Oh, mousetrap. He won. Orange Cassidy has won. Orange Cassidy is the new international champion. I said there might be a title change, and indeed there is. Orange Cassidy has won the bout back. Wow. Plans have certainly changed in AEW. Certainly changed. The plan very clearly was for Moxley to win it back tonight. Moxley's not cleared, so Orange Cassidy is once again the AEW International Champion. We got confetti going on right now too. So Orange Cassidy is a two-time AEW International Champion. Title change right now, which again is very significant. Now Penta, he's staring off against Orange Cassidy. There is everything going on here. I mean, I think this clearly looks to me like, again, well, it was, Rey Fenix shouldn't have technically been the champion anyway, because he wasn't meant to win the title. It was meant to be, you know, Moxley holding on to the championship, and then obviously Moxley got hurt. He called an audible. Plans changed. I think Moxley was meant to win it back tonight. Moxley's not cleared again. He's still got a concussion, or having issues with that concussion. So Moxley is the brand new international champion. My goodness me. Wow. What a change. We're getting Timeless Tony Storm. Tony Storm is now on AEW Dynamite. Timeless Tony Storm backstage with RJ City. Now it's going to be interesting to see what that title change did, particularly knowing that who's coming up on WWE TV right now? None other than John Cena. Yeah, John Cena's coming up on WWE TV. So Tony Storm, she might have to wait when it comes to her promo, because we're about to get none other than John Cena. we're getting a Lover's Lament, Act 1. This is a Tony Storm thing as well. I'm not sure, not really sure what's going on with that. I might have to have both sounds on at the same time. It's going to be challenging. But here he comes. Take shot. So this is what's happening right now. We've got Tony Storm in black and white on Dynamite, and we've got John Cena entering the WWE Performance Center for NXT. Indeed, this is happening right now. This is what happens going head to head with pro wrestling. It's kind of crazy. John Cena holding. They're singing along with the song inside the Performance Center. He holds up the towel saying never give up, throws it into the crowd. Meanwhile, Tony Storm is jogging on the spot, doing a silent movie. I mean, the difference between the two shows right now is kind of crazy. I mean, honestly, it's nuts. You've got John Cena, one of the biggest names in WWE history, 16-time world champion. In comparison, you've got Tony Storm in black and white doing a silent movie dance. I mean, the comparison is crazy. In terms of the differences we've got right now. Wow. Cena drinking in the cheers from the crowd on NXT. And Tony Storm, I mean, if you don't have both screens in front of you now, I cannot stress the contrast in what I'm seeing at the moment. Trending number 1 in the United States, according to WWE, is WWE NXT. How long has this Tony Storm thing going on for? John Cena thanks the crowd over at NXT. And that's to be continued from Tony Storm. Again, what that was, I don't really know. But that was crazy. And Dynamite's in a commercial break right now, so we're going to be all eyes on Cena. This is when NXT's going to grab the viewers, certainly. He's talking about Cody Rhodes being the GM. LA Knight is going to be the special guest referee. Crowd singing the theme song for John Cena as well. He says that's what makes this place beautiful. What makes the place great. Every single one. I can take actually Tony Storm off. I can put Tony Khan back on because we're in commercial at the moment. Crowd are chanting NXT while Cena is inside that WWE ring. Says there's nothing like being here in that room, and he says it's long overdue. Cena says being on NXT, it's long overdue. Here comes Wardlow. Wardlow, of course, he returned last week. It's going to be Wardlow going head-to-head with John Cena. Matt Sydal. Wardlow versus Matt Sydal. And he's going all after Matt Sydal, it must be said. And I don't think this one's going to last that long, it must be said too. As Cena's still talking to the crowd, still doing his promo. Wardlow could be one that ends up going to WWE in the future. Many people think that's going to be the case. Of course, it was a referee stoppage last week by Wardlow. And Sydal proper doing a job at the moment, isn't he? And he's eating these power bombs. And that's over. And Wardlow just leaving through the crowd as well. Look at that. That was quick. That's just basically what he did last week. Wardlow leaves through the crowd. That's not the best role for Matt Sydal, is it, in that show? So right now on Dynamite, we're getting a backstage update on Jericho. Daniel Garcia is checking in on Jericho. So who's interrupting Cena? Oh my. Interrupting John Cena is none other than Bron Breakker, of course. You're going to have Paul Heyman in the corner of Bron Breakker tonight. John Cena's going to be in the corner of Carmelo Hayes. I wonder if he's going to get a fine speech. And coming up next, we're going to be getting Switchblade Jay White versus Hangman Adam Page. And look at this. The crowd are singing along to John Cena's song saying, Bron Breakker sucks. Bron Breakker sucks. If you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe to bottom right-hand corner. Just checking on the poll. Obviously, it's been up throughout the entirety of the show. Who's going to win in total viewership? 64% of you say NXT. Let me know which show you're watching at the moment. Bron Breakker thanks John Cena for coming as Hangman Page makes his entrance. Going to be facing, as I mentioned, Switchblade Jay White. Not the first time we've seen Hangman this evening. Bron Breakker says a big night for WWE. Bron Breakker says, get me a little fact. Kenny Allen says watching AEW. Gareth's watching NXT. Bron Breakker said they didn't come to see you. John Cena said they can't. And of course, Switchblade Jay White holding the AEW World Championship. He stole it from MJF, remember? And the crowd are just all over Bron Breakker at the moment. All over. Saying, talking about the match they have later on this evening. Tokyo Inushi is watching AEW. Game of Friends says he's watching AEW. Darth Force says AEW. So quite a few people in the chat watching AEW at the moment. Of course, right now, we can see Bullet Club Gold making their entrance on, on tricycles. Tricycles surrounding the ring. It's kind of nuts. Cena says Bron Breakker lacks respect. He says he didn't come to run you down, but now that you're here, is he going to say fine speech? Fine speech? Fine speech? Will he say fine speech? Fine speech. Say it, John. It's a teachable moment. I was hoping for him to go fine speech. He's excited for the match tonight, Cena says. He says he's here to wish you respectfully good luck, is John Cena. Bron Breakker doesn't look too pleased by it. Oh, and a right hand. Bron Breakker just a straight right hand to John Cena. He's going to set him up for a spear. He's setting up. Is Bron Breakker going to spear John Cena inside of an NXT ring? He wouldn't. Spear. Oh, sidesteps it. Uh-oh. AA. Oh, and Bron Breakker gets the hell out of Dodge quickly. But Bron Breakker just teed off on John Cena with a right hand. But Bron Breakker may have just made it personal. And coming up in moments, it's going to be the NXT Championship on the line as Ilya Dragunov defends the championship against Dominic Mysterio with LA Knight as a special guest referee. Meanwhile, on Dynamite right now, we've got Switchblade Jay White against Hangman Adam Page. Let's switch that. Cena's off that list. Shawn Michaels is back on. NXT is currently in commercial. Dynamite's currently on the air. And with NXT, or WWE saying NXT is trending #1, AEW is, tope over the top rope by Hangman onto Jay White. AEW is saying that Dynamite is trending worldwide as well. So the Cena segment's ended. They've gone to commercial, and one would think now the viewer, if they're going back and forth, would go over and say, hey, right. Oh, well, this is interesting now. So they would have gone over to Dynamite, but Dynamite's now gone into picture-in-picture. The question is, where will the viewer go? Will the viewer decide, okay, while they're in picture-in-picture, I'll stick with Dynamite, or will they go, it's in full commercial right now with NXT, I'll stick with NXT for this NXT Championship match. You feel like this is going to be a pivotal point. Top of the hour's coming in. Who loads up with the biggest match? Who loads up with the product that is going to keep the viewer engaged? That is really interesting too. A chop by Hangman Page to Jay White. And another one. Oof. As Taz says, the chops that make the most don't make the most noise hurt the most. I don't know if that's factually accurate. Wow, that one hurt by Jay White. What a chop that was to Hangman Page. And again, another big chop by Switchblade Jay White. Oof. Irish whip reversed. Hangman charges him in the corner. Jay White gets out the way. Oh my God, a big boot. And he literally just nearly kicked the head off of Switchblade Jay White. And Jay White's got that glassy-eyed look in his face. So I might want to check on him. The leader of Bullet Club Gold. Ouch. Tokyo says that Sean picture. It's great, isn't it? Look at Sean. That's the look of a man that's booked Cena, Undertaker, Cody, LA Knight. You know. Oh, a chop by Hangman. And I tell you what, that was high. He went for a chop and he got him in the throat or the jaw. That was rough. Reversal of the Irish whip. Hangman's in the corner. Another boot. Right high and tight. I tell you what, if I'm Switchblade Jay White, yeah, I might put a couple of receipts into Hangman because he's been a little bit stiff in this one. There's been a couple of big boots that have been a bit close to the chin for me. There have been a couple of chops that have been here or here so far for me as well. I'd just be a little bit like, hey, let's calm down a little bit, Hangman. Because a couple of those were a bit too much. I don't know with that. Irish whip in the corner. Hangman charges him, gets out the way. And yeah, there you go. Jay White just... DDT by Jay White. And he also clotheslined him pretty hard in the back of the head. That felt a bit like a receipt to me. Because, like I said, I'd be a little bit like, hey, some of those were a bit stiff. And Hangman's now just sort of going like this. I wouldn't be shocked. You know, if you've been watching pro wrestling long enough, you know when things are getting a bit stiff in a row. I'm not saying it's, you know, it's intentional. As AEW is definitely back from their picture-in-picture. WWE NXT not just yet. Top of the hour, AEW is in first. Cody Rhodes has been shown backstage right now in NXT. Of course, he's the special guest general manager for the evening. Cody Rhodes meeting the family on NXT. Let's listen in, see what they're saying there. Cody Rhodes, of course, is special guest general manager. The former AEW EVP. He's got executive experience. What's the family recommending? It says teams of two. Ding ding, the bell rings. Was that Dijak in the background? There's Dijak. I saw him in the background. So the family are coming up with some kind of special match. There's got to be a winner. There's the challengers. So they're saying some kind of NXT tag team #1 contender match. Meanwhile, on Dynamite. So they're recommending a over-the-top rope battle royal on NXT television. Man. Float over. A big chop once again by Hangman. Right hand. Another chop. Irish whip reversed by Jay White. Goes for... Oh, he lands on his shoulder. Oh, Death Valley driver by Hangman Page. But Hangman's holding his knee. I tell you what, Jay White's taking some hellacious bumps. Well, we've got the Bada Bing, Bada Boom Battle Royal, Cody Rhodes. And now Cody Rhodes is walking off saying Gabagool. And we're getting a Baron Corbin backstage interview right now. More chops by Hangman Page to Jay White on Dynamite. Irish whip reversed. Oh, forearm by Jay White. Hits the middle rope. Uh-oh. Gets caught. Fall away slam perhaps? Yes, fall away slam. And Hangman, nip up, but he's got that bad knee once again. Oh, standing shooting star. Brilliant. Cover. Jay White kicks out. Baron Corbin says he knows a thing or two about a thing or two. And Hangman still feeling that knee that was worked on by Jay White earlier on in the match. As Baron Corbin's talking about defeating Bron Breakker, which he did at NXT No Mercy. He also says he's the only man that's put Ilya down. Oh, Jay White, he's had enough. Gets out of the ring. Gets out of the ring and is trying to take a powder at the moment. Oh, Hangman floats over again. Lands on that bad knee. That was a bad landing for Hangman Page. Uh-oh. Baron Corbin just got interrupted by none other than, yeah, get ready for it. LA Knight's, he's kind of hidden. LA Knight's kind of hidden. It's fine, he'll have to do. We were running out of space. LA Knight is going to be doing the referee. He's wearing the referee stripes. We can move it. We can move him. We can move him. Listen to that crowd. Oh my goodness me. They love some LA Knight. It's pretty obvious to see, isn't it? So right now we're getting an NXT Championship match head-to-head with Jay White and Hangman Adam Page. Now here comes Dominic Mysterio. Of course, I mean, Dominic Mysterio's got the opportunity to become a double champion at this point. Surely not. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if they did something that big on this show? They won't, by the way, but could you imagine if they did? That would be kind of insane. As I mentioned, they won't, but you never know. Anything's possible. Let's have a look at this to see if we can move this. See if we can move this a little bit to the left. This looks a bit better. Oh, Jay White absolutely spiking the knee. Bullet Club Gold. They might be told to where to go by the referee at the moment. Here comes Ilya Dragunov. So right now, head-to-head, we've got Switchblade Jay White and Hangman Adam Page. We've got the NXT Championship on the line. LA Knight's a special guest referee. Whew. This is a lot going on right now. Oof. And Hangman Page just thrown on the apron by his opponent, that being Switchblade Jay White. Cover in the ring. Hangman kicks out. Of course, as I mentioned, NXT Championship is on the line. LA Knight, the special guest referee. They know how much of a draw he is, certainly. I'm kind of surprised they didn't announce it beforehand, but part of me feels like it's probably a wise strategy by WWE. I think their thought was, we'll probably have the most viewers tuning in the opening segment. We'll probably beat Dynamite there. We've got to get them hooked for the rest of the show. Their hook for the rest of the show is, if you wait for an hour, you're going to get LA Knight. And I'll tell you what, the LA Knight gear that he's wearing at the moment is pretty impressive, it must be said. So the match starting on NXT, I must mention NXT Championship on the line. Ilya Dragunov, Dominic Mysterio, LA Knight in some pretty wild refereeing attire. He's still got his vest on. LA Knight's got his sunglasses on, his vest on, he's still got his boots on, he's got jeans on. I'm not sure what kind of refereeing attire he's got going on. Meanwhile, Jay White has got a submission in on Hangman Page. Look at this, he's working on that injured knee once again. We're over an hour into both respective shows. Of course, both will have an overrun too, so we probably are going to go past the 10 p.m. hour. Probably about, the overrun might be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that perhaps. Of course, that's time when usually that does, the biggest numbers for either show. Hip toss by Ilya Dragunov. LA Knight counts a 1. Still got his sunglasses on as well, which is getting very impressive by LA Knight. The match between Jay White and Hangman Page has been going on for quite some time too. Right hand by Dominic Mysterio to Ilya Dragunov. Jay White taking Hangman to the top. Let's turn our sound up for NXT there as well. Oh, and a big chop by Ilya Dragunov to Dominic Mysterio. That was unbelievable. Oh, again, another one. A German suplex. Snap German holds on as well. Doesn't let go. Meanwhile, on Dynamite, we've got a superplex situation. Headbutt by Hangman Page. I love these sort of German suplexes, but not releasing the grip by Ilya Dragunov. Top rope, though, on Dynamite. What's this? Oh, no. Avalanche fall away slam into a moonsault as well. Incredible stuff by Hangman Adam Page, but he's holding that knee once again. Oh, what was that? Ilya Dragunov. He might have broke his neck. That was nasty. Oh, my God. He hit his head pretty badly on that top rope. Now, they've gone into picture-in-picture on USA, which means commercial break for all of us here in the UK, which means we'll go back over to the Dynamite feed. To my right here, we'll put the sound back on, rather, as Hangman Page and Jay White still competing in their match. It's been going for, I would say, what, 20 minutes now? I think maybe. But Hangman looks like he's in a lot of pain. He's taken the knee pad down. And Jay White, oh, what's that? Thumb in the eye. Literally raking the eye, the finger firmly in the eye of Hangman, who has worn an eye patch before in his AEW career. Oh. What was that? He's going for here. Oh, wow. Uranagi. That was unbelievable, too. Oh, and Hangman kicks out. What a Uranagi. That was. Now, once again, he's now going for a side headlock. Is Jay White here. Side headlock indeed. What's he going for here? Oh, big chop. Oh, discus right hand. Oh, and another. Hangman, what's Hangman thinking here? Is he going to go for the buckshot? Can he do it? That's the question. Oh, Jay White quickly making sure he closes the gap. Oh, another dragon screw leg whip. He's done that a couple of times in this match. Done damage. We're still in commercial for NXT right now. Of course, NXT Championship match. Ilya Dragunov defending his title against Dominic Mysterio. LA Knight special guest referee. Meanwhile, AEW has Hangman Adam Page versus Switchblade Jay White. And now what's Jay White thinking? I think he was looking for an Avalanche Uranagi, maybe. But Hangman's going for these elbows. Oh, and oh, wow. Nasty, nasty bump for Jay White. Hung Jay White up on the top rope. Not only did Jay White hit his head on the turnbuckle, he then bounced on the apron. This might not be the best move for Hangman. I think he's thinking moonsault. I think he's thinking moonsault from the top. This one isn't going to look very good. You've got a bad knee. Oh, my. And he landed on his knee. That was unbelievable. Wow. Beautiful moonsault by Hangman Page, though. Incredible. Meanwhile, we're back live on NXT. Of course, NXT Championship on the line. Hangman's going to be going for, looks to be, buckshot lariat. Crowd is still chanting for the yeah. Look, every time they're chanting, yeah, LA Knight's doing this. Oh, Jay White's going for, oh, beautiful deadlift German suplex. Hangman kicks out. Oh, jumping enziguri by Ilya Dragunov on NXT. Back elbows by Hangman on Dynamite. Jay White once again takes out the knee of 1/3 of the... Oh, look at that. It was almost like a dragon suplex. Oh, a big lariat by Hangman there as well. Both men are down. It's been a heck of a match on Dynamite. Look at this. Oh, look, big lariats by Dragunov. The NXT champion, Ilya Dragunov, I must say. Of course, the NXT championship is on the line right now. Buckshot lariat, perhaps. Oh, no, he hurt the knee. Blade Runner. Oh, reverse. Deadeye. Deadeye hits. That should be it. Uh-oh, Bullet Club Gold. They're freaking out at ringside. They're getting involved with the ref. Cover. 2. Oh, Jay White kicked out by that much. The distraction by Bullet Club Gold would just have been enough. Unbelievable. Look at Dominic Mysterio. He's getting Jim as a... Whoa, Prince Nana. Prince Nana going after Hangman Page. Going to hit him with the crown. A roll up, though. Roll up. Cover. Got the tights. 3, and Switchblade Jay White has just defeated Hangman Adam Page thanks to the interference by Prince Nana getting revenge from Hangman Page earlier on in the evening. Of course, Hangman Page cost Swerve Strickland an opportunity at the TNT Championship. Turnabout's is fair play, I guess, because Prince Nana has just cost Hangman Page this match against the leader of Bullet Club Gold. My goodness me. And Jay White, look at him. He's holding the AEW World Championship that he stole from MJF. Interesting, we haven't seen MJF just yet. But Hangman Page looks furious with Prince Nana. But look, Hangman, you got only yourself to blame. You got involved earlier on. And Hangman's chasing Nana to the back. But he's limping. Because, of course, that knee, the damage was done on that knee. And Jay White is now in the ring with the AEW World Championship. Oh no, Dominic Mysterio did a big chop. The crowd are chanting, "You effed up." And I think indeed he did. Uh-oh, here comes MJF. The AEW World Champion might be coming back to claim what's rightfully his. And there he is. MJF says cut his music. He's coming out right now. Crowd are chanting for MJF. MJF just called Jay White a son of a bitch. He said, you want main event match, bright lights for the world title? You got it. You're welcome. He says, give me back the Triple B. Of course, it's the world title. Dragunov big boot to Dominic Mysterio over on NXT. Once again, he's going for that big lariat. Ducks it. What's he going for here? A slingshot. Oh, middle rope. He might go for 619. Hits the ropes. Oh, 619 to Dragunov. Jay White says just took it to 4-0. Jay White says we don't want to hear any more from MJF. Who do they want to hear from then? He says we want to hear from J-A-Y, that being Switchblade himself. And now he's telling people to shush. Shush. Jay White is shushing people. Chad Gable, he's going to be furious. He's stealing his catchphrase. Meanwhile on NXT, looks like we could be getting superplex territory here. MJF is seething, but he realizes he can't go to the ring because he's outnumbered. Crowd are telling Jay White to shut the F up. He says the Triple B is the Bang Bang bout, not the Big Burberry bout, which MJF claims that it is. He said I was going to say yes until you were so rude, so the answer now is no. He says it's their fault. Oh, what was that on NXT? Was that meant to be a DDT? That looked nasty. Hanging over the rope onto the apron. MJF is saying that Jay White doesn't give a damn about anyone else. to get what you want. Power bomb by Ilya Dragunov on Dominic Mysterio. Oh, what was that by Ilya Dragunov? He just fell on Dominic Mysterio. That was nasty. MJF said you could give less than a shit about any of those three. He says that he's using them to get where he wants to be. Oh, Finn Balor, right hand. Just JD McDonough's in the ring. LA Knight, blunt force trauma. And he just threw JD McDonough. Oh my God, threw JD McDonough over the top rope. Rhea Ripley, uses Women's World Championship. Who the hell? That's Trick Williams. She picked up Rhea Ripley. What the hell was that? Dragunov. Oh my goodness me. A big reverse elbow. Covers him. Count it. 2, 3. And Ilya Dragunov has retained the NXT Championship thanks to some support from LA Knight as well as Trick Williams, who prevented the Judgment Day from getting involved. Turns about is fair play, Rhea. You got involved last week, and this time Trick's getting involved this week. Now, MJF is saying that, talking about Adam Cole getting surgery. Meanwhile, Dragunov's holding up the NXT Championship. MJF says that Jay White is holding his livelihood, of course, that being the Triple B bout. But there was a lot going on there. There was, there was JD McDonough, there was Finn Balor, there was Rhea Ripley, there was Trick Williams. I mean, JD McDonough took a hell of a bump going over the top rope. LA Knight with the blunt force trauma was an excellent move too. MJF says he hates Jay White's guts. He says if Bullet Club Gold weren't around, he would have taken back what was his, trusted him on that. However, he said he's not going to let it cloud his judgment. He says he knows how talented Jay White is. He knows that he's next level. Uh-oh, here comes Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin's interrupting Ilya Dragunov. Does he want the... Whoa! Dijak just nearly knocked the block off Ilya Dragunov. I said we saw him backstage earlier on. We saw him. Now, Dijak looks like he might want the NXT Championship. So right now, you've got Dijak attacking Ilya Dragunov. You've got Baron Corbin. And you've got MJF cutting a promo on Dynamite. MJF says to Jay White, give me back what you have not yet earned. Juice Robinson looks like he's having a fit. He's laughing so hard at the moment. We're seeing backstage John Cena talking to Carmelo Hayes. Jay White says, you're just asking me to give it back to you. How is that earning it? He says, thank you for coming and asking face to face, asking so nicely. Jay White says, you're asking for this. You can't just ask for this. You have to earn it. You have to win it. They're talking about their Full Gear match. He says, be patient. You get your chance to win it back. Meanwhile, John Cena's talking to Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes backstage. If you can't be patient, you can't wait. Like you said. Jay White's invited Max to come down and take it. Jay White says you got no friends, so you're not coming down. This segment's gone quite long with Jay White and MJF. John Cena's talking to Trick Williams backstage at the moment. John Cena says, Trick Williams, let's talk. Oh, interesting. NXT Anonymous sees... Oh, look at that! Oh, my goodness me. Paul Heyman is talking to Ava backstage. Of course, she's legitimately a member of the bloodline. Surely not. Could The Rock's daughter be with the wise man Paul Heyman? Is that possible? Wow, that's very, very interesting. Oh my! Jade Cargill is at the Performance Center. Jade Cargill has arrived, and Jade Cargill is currently live on NXT, and she's shaking hands with Shawn Michaels in the parking lot. Wow, that's very, very, very interesting. So Jade Cargill just appeared on NXT television as well. Well, Lola Vice is out on NXT television at the moment. And Juice Robinson just had quarters with MJF, and that's obviously pretty unbelievable. That's pretty deep stuff, what they were just teasing on AEW right. So Bullet Club still have the AEW World Championship, but wow, I mean, I can't believe they're really going with that. I know the gimmick is Juice Robinson with the quarters, but that's pretty heavy stuff that they're going with at the moment. But indeed, there you go. So we're going back. We're going back to Tony Storm, I think, there as well again. So we're going back to Act 2 of Lover's Lament. Yes, we're going back to silent movies again. Oh my god. Well, this is going to be interesting to see who sticks around for this one, because you could argue not super high draws, because you've got, you know, was it Lola Vice on NXT? You've now got Tony Storm once again in a silent movie in black and white. Remember, her first act went up against John Cena. Yeah, 16-time world champion John Cena. M. Bison says this picture-in-picture is in USA. But we've got Act 2 of Tony Storm ongoing at the moment. We're on 65 likes, by the way, so 5 likes away from 70. If you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe to in the bottom right-hand corner. You know what to do. We are 17 away from 14,380 right now. As Tony Storm once again is doing these... Uh-oh. The music stopped playing. The music stopped playing. Now she's slapping the air. She headbutted the air. Oh, now she hurt her head. And now the music's back on. The music's back on, and I guess this was the sort of lover's tiff that she had. She headbutted and punched. No one was there. And now she's mouthing that she loves you. Miss Storm, you are needed on set. Now she's doing her makeup. She's grabbing her clothes and she's run off. The end. That was certainly something. Yes. Dynamite now in commercial. Dynamite now in commercial. And I guess NXT and USA. So a rare moment where both are currently in commercial. As some of you have mentioned, NXT I think is in picture-in-picture at the moment. Dynamite is currently on an actual ad break, a rare one. We're 3 likes away from 70 likes, by the way. So if you haven't already, click the like button and be sure to subscribe. What an evening we've had so far. We still have about, 35 minutes left plus an overrun. So maybe 45 minutes, something like that, left of each show. If you have been switching over, what have you been enjoying the most? What do you think's done the better show? Have you just stuck with the same show all night? Let me know your thoughts about that. WWE is claiming that NXT is trending #1 worldwide. AEW is claiming that Dynamite is trending worldwide, but not #1. M. Bison says that Tony was in picture-in-picture. Wow, that would probably make more sense. AEW Women's Championship match is on the line. So there you go. It's Saraya versus Hikaru Shida. Obviously, Women's Championship, you can see right there. Meanwhile, back on NXT, we've got Cody Rhodes talking to Baron Corbin. Cody Rhodes is talking to Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin says that Cody owes him. Cody says, you made a great case for himself. You're the last man that's beaten Ilya. And he knows that because he's told every person in the building that he was the last person to defeat Ilya Dragunov. It's true, it's true. He stole Kurt Angle's catchphrase and he retired him as well. What a disgrace. Cody Rhodes says that Dijak's made a great case to be the next #1 contender as well. He says he can make a great case. Whoever wins Melo versus Braun Breaker. Cody tells Baron Corbin to relax. He's going to get his match. So Cody Rhodes sets up next week. We're going to have Baron Corbin versus Dijak versus the winner of Bron Breakker versus Carmelo Hayes. That's going to be a #1 contenders match with the winner getting a future NXT Championship match. Backstage, we've got Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley. It's a bunch of NXT superstars. Nathan Fraser, Axiom there as well. Brooks Jensen. Nathan Fraser. Dominic Mysterio says, who the hell is this guy? Rhea Ripley says he's not the NXT North American champion, so he's nobody. So eventually we're going to get Nathan Fraser versus Dominic Mysterio, perhaps. In the ring we have Danny Palmer. Backflip to backflip. So we've got 2 women's matches going on at the moment. This is the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament right now. So let's put the sound back on for the Women's Championship match on Dynamite. But women's matches on both shows right now. It'll be interesting to see who does do the better numbers in comparison to this. And Shida, right hands to Saraya. Saraya ducks under the ropes, wants to break. Oh, and a kick to the gut by Saraya. Oh, bounces that Shida off the top turnbuckle. And now the right hands. God, they look like shit. They don't look great. From Saraya, it must be said. Shida throws Saraya into the corner. And now getting some forearms of herself across the chest. M. Bison says, crazy, she's been champ since All In and done nothing. Yeah, so I saw some people saying on social media, and it is kind of true. It's been a really weird title reign, hasn't it? Because she hasn't really done all that much. And by all accounts, the title change was actually a very last-minute decision by Tony Khan as well. For those wondering what's going on NXT, I just don't have a graphic for this because they didn't announce it. Enziguri by Hikaru Shida stuns Saraya. And Saraya's taken a powder on the outside of the ring. She just calls Shida a stupid cow. Shoulder tackle back on NXT. We're 3 likes away from 70, by the way, if you haven't already. Click the like button. Saraya goes under the bottom rope. And now Shida once again. Thez press, full mount. And now Saraya forearms right to the face too. Of course, that match is for, you can see it right there, the AEW Women's World Championship. And both are just teeing off on each other right now. Saraya and Shida. Saraya back on her feet. Telling the crowd to shut up. Oh, goes for a boot. Oof. There's a sign in the crowd says, name a good Sonic game. So I'll put that to you. What's a good Sonic game? Oh, hip attack in the corner on NXT. Danny Palmer's going to get covered here. Kicks out at 1. Shida. No. Going to go for that running knee lift. Oh, running knee lift against Saraya. Of course, got that surgically repaired neck. Tokyo says Sonic game, Sonic 2. M. Bison says Sonic 2. Dark Force says Sonic 2. Who is that? Oh, it's Ruby Soho dressed in black. Oh, and she just sprayed the spray paint in the face of Ruby Soho. What the hell is Tony Storm? Tony Storm with a shoe. Watch for the shoe. Tony Storm's attacking Ruby Soho. She's timeless. Timeless and attacking Ruby with a pair of shoes. Oh, and she just dumped Ruby Soho into the crowd. There's Tony Storm. She's got the shoe. Watch for the shoe. And now she's chasing. Oh, wow. Saraya just pushed Hikaru Shida to the ground. Just Josh Media's in there. He says Sonic 2. Lots of people saying Sonic 2. There's a sign in the crowd. Wrestling fans are known, and it's a bit of a weird theme at the moment. Is they'll have a sign in the crowd that's really got nothing to do with anything. For instance, one said, "Why is Axe's hair at Royal Rumble 90 or Survivor Series 1990 so nice?" And if you go back and watch it, you will see his hair usually was slicked back, but on that show it was really high up. I don't know. One of them was like, "Why is Shawn Michaels at some event, I think it's like WrestleMania, whatever, wearing his tights up to his nipples?" And it was true, he did. It was very strangely high. And I like those type of signs. They're funny. NXT breakout tournament match is done. Lola Vice getting the victory over Danny Palmer. So that match is now done. So the next person into, what's that, the quarterfinals or is it semi-finals of that tournament is done. We're getting a backstage segment involving Chase U at this point of time as well. Of course, Andre Chase. Let's see what Andre Chase is saying at the moment. Let's go to that sound. I'm trying to get JC Jane into Chase U. Ugh. Andre Chase says, take a seat. They're going to be talking about Halloween Havoc. I'm not the biggest fan of the Chase U gimmick, it must be said. I'm not. Very limited. Very, very limited. Not sure about that. Saraya is now going to go for, I think, the stomps on Hikaru Shida. Perhaps. She was standing on the hair. She was doing the thing where you stand on the hair and then lift up the shoulders. A heel move, certainly. Chris Day says, yes, insert name eats corn the long way is a favorite recent sign. Yes, that's old school as well. I think that goes back to, is it Bill Goldberg eats corn the long way? Might be one of those ones. Oh, Andre Chase just cursed. He says, what the F's so important on that screen? Oh, he just broke the phone up against the wall. He said, don't go on your phone in my mother effing class again. He's... That's it. Andre Chase got a potty mouth. But says that him and Duke is going to be part of the Bada Bing Bada Boom Battle Royal next week. Not easy for many people to say. Meanwhile, on Dynamite, hits the rope. Saraya, Hikaru Shida ducks the clothesline, jumping knee, starting to fire up. Now she's pointing to, Saraya trying to make some distance between the two. Hikaru Shida going to scale the turnbuckle. Got to tee off and go for these punches in the corner. Punches look terrible. You can see she's hitting her hand. Hikaru Shida, come on, make him look better. Bron Breakker's currently backstage, working on the shoulders. Oh, there's Paul Heyman. Look at Paul Heyman. Bron Breakker. Paul Heyman says that wisdom comes with experience. The wise man. He says he's worked with the father, the uncle, which is true. He's worked with the Steiners in ECW and WCW. And in WWE, worked with Scott Steiner. But he was the writer for SmackDown, Paul Heyman. Scott Steiner was on Raw back in 2002. Bron Breakker. I think Paul Heyman cutting a promo for Bron Breakker kind of feels kind of right. Meanwhile, Hikaru Shida's just been dumped to the outside on Dynamite. As Paul Heyman's doing a pep talk right now for Bron Breakker. You get the feeling this might be where people are switching. Might be switching, possibly. Match has been given time, certainly, by AEW. Bron Breakker says he doesn't care who stands in his way. He's going to break them all. Oh, and look at Paul. Paul looks scared by it. Oh, wow. German suplex by Hikaru Shida on the apron to Saraya. Make sure she was protected. Oh, Paul Heyman says, call Roman Reigns. Uh-oh. Here comes Cena. The time for talk is over. We're about to get our main event on NXT. How quickly has this gone? And here comes Money Mello. Yes, he doesn't miss. He is him. He is the former NXT champion Carmelo Hayes with John Cena in his corner. So right now we've got the main event of NXT getting ready to get started. We've got the entrances of Carmelo Hayes and John Cena. We've got the NXT Women's Championship match still ongoing, actually, on Dynamite at the moment. As Hikaru Shida's going to the top rope. I went for it. Oh, that was nasty. That was bad. Uh-oh. Oh. Cover. Saraya's going to get the victory. Oh, no. Kicked out. Oh. I thought that would be it. She hit the nightcap, didn't she? Kicks out of it. Saraya looks disappointed. 1 like away from 70, by the way. If you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe to 14 away from 14,380. Crowd are chanting for Shida, saying, let's go Shida. It's getting more time than I thought it would, to be honest with you. As NXT in commercial. Might be picture-in-picture. Oh, Saraya was going for... Wow, that looked rubbish. Oh, God, that was nasty. Well, Saraya, it's the nightcap after... Oh, she kicked out again. Unbelievable. What the hell was that? Basically, she went to use the kendo stick. Referee took it off her. She very clearly still had the spray paint in her tights. Never that she sprayed in the face of Hikaru Shida, hit the nightcap. Shida kicked out again. That's twice. Twice. Crowd are chanting, holy Shida. Is this going to be the moment? Look at her face. But it was very badly executed by Saraya. Crowd are still chanting, holy Shida. I mean, we've already had one title change hands tonight. The international title has changed hands. Orange Cassidy is once again the champion. And right now, maybe the third one. Shida. Oh, Falcon Arrow. Is she going to cover? Falcon Arrow, 2. Oh, rolls through. 1, 2. Oh, rolls through again. 1, 2. Oh, she won! She won! Shida's won the title again! That's the second title change of the evening. Shida's a 3-time champion. Holy Shida indeed. Oh my God. We've got 2 title changes tonight. Orange Cassidy's the new international champion, and Hikaru Shida has won the AEW Women's World Championship for a 3rd time. The first ever 3-time AEW Women's World Champion. So what was the point? What was the point of putting the title on Saraya? No point at all. Pop the crowd in London at Wembley. But what's that? Her first title defense? Second title defense for Saraya? Something like that? But, right move. Certainly, right call, because Saraya was doing nothing with the championship. But for all of that talk of Saraya, oh, we're just getting started, I don't think you are. I think it's over. I mean, there's an argument to be made. Why did she even lose it? She shouldn't have lost it in the first place. As Wallace says, yeah, she shouldn't have lost it in the first place. I really think Tony Khan did it to give us a moment at Wembley Stadium. But it wasn't really a moment that anyone wanted. I don't think. But Hikaru Shida's the AEW Women's World Champion once again. Saraya looks devastated, but it wasn't the best match either, it must be said. But she's screaming, at the commentary table. But Hikaru Shida, what's going on here? Chris Jericho has been taken to a nearby hospital for examination after the beating by Powerhouse Hobbs earlier this evening. That's what they've just said on commentary. So Jericho's off to a hospital, not a local medical facility, a hospital. What's this? Tony Schiavone coming this Christmas to TBS. Over 50,000, over $1 million in toys to be donated to Toys for Tots. Look at that. Excellent news. There you go. Tony Schiavone just announcing that over $1 million worth of toys is being donated for Toys for Tots this Christmas in collaboration with TBS. Fantastic announcement. That. Well done to AEW. A well-worthy cause during the holiday season. Rampage on Friday. Gates of Agony versus the Blackpool Combat Club. Sky Blue versus Emi Sakura. Oh, Daniel Garcia, Daddy Magic, Cool Hand Ange, the Hardys, and Brother Zay. Jay Lethal is facing Trent Beretta Friday on Rampage as well. TNT Championship on the line on Collision on Saturday as well. Christian Cage versus Bryan Danielson. Meanwhile, NXT right now, we're seeing another vignette for Brian Pillman Jr. His name was actually reportedly put out there. I believe it was Lexi King. Was that his name? Dynamite Battle Royal is next week as well. More matches to be announced on Rampage and Collision as well. Coming up next, the in-ring debut in All Elite Wrestling for Adam Page. Oh, look at this. Adam Page for Adam Copeland. We're getting more of Brian Pillman Jr. We just got Brian Pillman. Look, there's Brian Pillman on the screen. Brian Pillman Sr. being interviewed by Eric Bischoff on WCW programming. And there he is. We've seen his face for the first time. Brian Pillman. Since everybody's got fond memories of his father. I mean, we've got a full reveal. Me. We're just seeing Brian Pillman Jr. talking about his father. He tried everything, football, lacrosse. He has his college degree. He's got no job to embrace it. He says he doesn't want to be a WWE superstar. He's going to inflict pain on the business that's brought him grief when they see that face. He doesn't want to think about his dead father. He wants to think about me. Heavy promo by Brian Pillman Jr. He's nobody's junior. From this day forward, he's taken on... Who's that? King. His last name is King. And again, it looks like his name is actually going to be Lexi King. So that one kind of confirms that. Brian Pillman Jr. though, coming to NXT. Showing his face for the first time. I'm seeing a backstage segment with Asuka backstage. Looks very confused. There's Blair Davenport, Bea Priestley. Of course, formerly All Elite as well. The first name to jump from AEW to WWE. Bea Priestley. Talking in Japanese. Uh-oh. Here we go once again. People just shaking hands with Asuka backstage. There's Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton introducing herself to Asuka. M. Bison says they gave Brian Pillman a generic female porn star name. No, well, to be honest, it's actually based on their family. His family. It's Lexi is the name of his sister, who unfortunately passed away not too long ago. So he's taking on his sister's name. I saw lots of people criticize the name, but by all accounts, it's based on his family. Again, Ben saw his sister that passed away, and I think based on maybe like a stepfather or something like that, or based on part of his family. So if you don't like it, I think he's a fan of it. It's paying tribute to his family. As they're just running through the card for next week's episode of NXT. Gareth says sister and mother. Yeah, it's it's family related. We're just seeing an interview with MJF backstage on Dynamite at the moment. Obviously speaking about the words by Juice Robinson. There's Paul Heyman. I tell you what, this is quite difficult. We've got Paul Heyman and MJF on our screen at the moment. Paul Heyman. His name is Paul Heyman. MJF is trying to call Adam Cole. Is he going to answer? MJF's trying to get in touch with Adam Cole. Adam Cole apologizes. He said he's still at Roddy's. MJF says he needs Adam Cole's help. He said he strolled the Triple B. Samoa Joe wants another title shot. Juice Robinson has opened up old wounds. He needs his friend. Obviously, he said that, of course, self-service. Roddy lives in the middle of nowhere, of course. The self-service is terrible. But the fact that you got dueling promos, Paul Heyman and MJF, is pretty significant. As they acclaimed. Look at Paul Heyman introducing Bron Breakker. Heck of an introduction as well. Max Caster talking to MJF, of course. Max Caster, basically MJF's stalker, got a crush on him as well. He always talking about how much he fancies him on. Look at Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn looks so confused. Billy Gunn says, why are you offering up the services? Yeah. Billy Gunn says, what's your infatuation with this Yahoo? Max Caster says, I've known him for 10 years. He's his friend. Look at Max Caster. He says, I like it when he plays hard to get. Well, they're bringing this thing on television. That Max Caster. Uh-oh, here comes Christian Cage. Hide your fathers. Well, unless they're dead, and then Christian Cage would definitely take the mick out of you for it. But here comes Christian Cage, the TNT champion. The bell rings on NXT. We're underway. Carmelo Hayes versus Bron Breakker. Of course, remember, the winner of this match goes into the triple threat match next week between Dijak and Baron Corbin. NXT Championship #1 contenders match. Triple threat settings as well. Turtleneck and all. Let's get this match up as well. Main event of Dynamite, Adam Copeland versus Luchasaurus. Of course, we saw the Impaler DDT that Adam Copeland hit on Nick Wayne, and a chokeslam by Luchasaurus on Adam Copeland. Oh, wow, on NXT. Carmelo Hayes went for a crossbody, was caught and turned into a slam by Bron Breakker. As we're just seeing Nick Wayne hitting the concerto on Darby Allin's arm on Saturday. Darby Allin out of action, not cleared to travel, not cleared to compete either as well. But both shows on their main events right now. Tony Schiavone just said that Christian Cage was right an ass. Christian Cage says, keep the noise down while he conducts his business. He also said, Kansas City, they should be happy that he has a champion that they can be proud of. When Christian Cage talks, you have to listen. Look how fast Bron Breakker hits the ropes. Oh my God. Christian Cage says, unlike the Kansas City Chiefs, he doesn't need any help to get his wins. As Carmelo Hayes is all fired up on NXT. Christian Cage says he let a lot of people's jaws on the floor last week with his words to the Rated R Superstar when he told him to go F himself. Christian Cage saying this, he had left him with that stupid look on his face and his junk in his hands. He said that, talking about Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne turning on him based on his experiences in the past from Adam Copeland. The difference is... Oh, God. Christian Cage says, I didn't take some ragtag group, dress them up like they're on Halloween and believe they're tough guys. Shots fired at Judgment Day. Christian Cage says, I'm not their leader, I'm their father. That's the difference. Christian Cage taking shots at the Judgment Day on Dynamite as well. He said she nearly made me smile when you talked about getting the team back together. Says, let's finish our careers together. That's what, obviously, Adam Copeland said to Christian Cage last week. He said that same sentiment wasn't there a few years ago. Crowd chants you suck at Christian Cage. I'm sure social media will handle Christian's shot at the Judgment Day very normally as well. He says that sentiment wasn't there when I was being held back, even though I was the most talented member of the two. By the way, this match hasn't even started yet, so AEW's clearly got a big overrun because we've got 7 minutes left of the broadcast. So this one's going to at least 1/4 Easy. Easy. And that question is, how much of an overrun does WWE NXT have on USA? Probably significant, but AEW's clearly got a big overrun. So he's without a doubt a hottest star in the industry. Hottest star in this business, Christian Cage says. Christian says, you need me, I don't need you. To be honest, he ain't lying. Ira as well. He's telling the truth. He says, I can't blame you for being a fan, Adam. He has a lot of fans around the world. In fact... he says, I know your wife Beth is a huge fan. He started. He's already getting bored of this. He says, the right hand of destruction, Luchasaurus, is going to end you right here after all. Your little girls Lyric and Ruby will be well taken care of. Hey Beth, you're out there listening. He says, keep it down. Put some clean sheets on the bed, because your new father's coming home, girls. Uh-oh, here comes Adam Copeland. He's sprinting down to the ring. Oh, wait a minute, Nick Wayne. Oh, big boot by Luchasaurus. The bell hasn't even rung yet. Oh, clothesline to the back of the neck. Surgically repaired, of course. Extinction lariat to the back of the neck of Adam Copeland. Adam Copeland's down. He's holding the neck. Well, Bryce Remsburg's checking on Adam Copeland. Checking on the Radar Superstar. Obviously, Christian Cage baited him. And Copeland looked like he's in trouble. Christian Cage is still around. Of course, when Copeland made his entrance, he just ran out the ring. I mean, man. Christian Cage looks like he's made himself comfortable on the ramp. The crowd are trying to will Adam Copeland back to his feet. Meanwhile, back on NXT, this is still, the main event's still ongoing. Bron Breaking hanging up Carmelo Hayes over the top rope. Adam Copeland says, ring the damn bell. Oh, splash in the corner. And now Luchasaurus teeing off on Adam Copeland, of course, making his AEW in-ring debut. Meanwhile, on NXT, Bron Breakker teeing off on the head of Carmelo Hayes. Oh, no. Tombstone, don't do it. Oh, my God. Tombstone. Oh. I don't know. It just makes me nervous seeing that kind of stuff. Tombstone, you kidding me? You kidding me? To Adam Copeland with his neck. Tombstone. Can we not, please? Oh. That was rough. Makes me nervous. Just don't do it. Meanwhile on NXT, big throw by Bron Breakker. Oh, and again, clubbing blow to the shoulder blades by Luchasaurus on Adam Copeland. If you haven't already, click the like button, by the way. We're 5 likes away from 80. Oh my god. Luchasaurus spitting the how out of Adam Copeland. Just nasty. Crowd are chanting, let's go, Adam. Bron Breakker, meanwhile, is just literally all over Carmelo Hayes. Right hand stomps. Luchasaurus has got his foot across the throat of Adam Copeland. Carmelo Hayes on the shoulder of Bron Breakker here. Oh, a gut buster. Beautiful. Cover. Carmelo Hayes kicks out, and Luchasaurus' Irish whip sends Adam Copeland into the corner. And Christian Cage sitting on the ramp on that steel chair, looking at his right hand of destruction, hoping that he does the job. Excalibur says that AEW will stay with the action as long as it takes until it's over. So again, that overrun does appear to be pretty significant, it must be said. Meanwhile, Bron Breakker is going to do the 5-knuckle shuffle on NXT. 5-knuckle shuffle, is he really going to do it? Oh, super kick by Carmelo Hayes. Well, Copeland starting to fight back. Oh, right hand. Oof. Hits the rope. One more. Another one. Is he going to hit it again? Oh, grabs him by the throat. Oh, throws him into the corner. Look at this. Right hand. Just nasty. And look at Christian's face. Look at his face. Christian, yeah, he's got Christian Cage's facials. That is, the fact that he looks nervous. He's almost rocking on his chair. Look at him. He looks evil. Absolute pure evil. Suplex by Luchasaurus to Christian Cage's former best friend, I guess, Adam Copeland, in the ring. Got Paul Heyman selling the effects of Carmelo Hayes, nearly getting the pinfall on Bron Breakker. 3 likes away from 80, by the way. If you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe too in the bottom right-hand corner. We're 1 subscriber away as well. 1 subscriber away from 14,380. So if you haven't already too, subscribe bottom right-hand corner. See if we can get that number to change to 14,380. Copeland's getting dominated by Luchasaurus. Bron Breakker has got Carmelo Hayes up for a superplex. John Cena looks nervous. Paul Heyman looks pensive. Carmelo Hayes trying to fight off. Oh, scales the top rope. Oh, what was that? What was that by Bron Breakker? That was nasty. Oh, and Carmelo Hayes kicks out. Top of the hour, and both shows are still on the air. Still on the air, top of the hour. Both have got clearly an overrun. AEW is currently in picture-in-picture. And they said they're going to stick with it as long as it takes. Oof. Bron Breakker just got a spear sidestepped. Carmelo Hayes is going to the top rope. Paul Heyman. Oh, he's not happy. Oh, look at this. Picks him up. Oh, scoop slam. Beautiful. That might be it. 2. Oh, Carmelo Hayes kicks out. 2. Meanwhile, Luchasaurus is just absolutely dominating Adam Copeland. Woof. Clubbing bro across the back. By the way, I mean, unless, you know. Oh, John Cena taking the steel step. Oh, look at this. Just kicked him. Oh, whoa, Solo Sikoa's there. Solo Sikoa's on NXT, and John Cena's fighting off with Solo Sikoa, and both are going to be brawling to the back. I was going to say, by the way, we still haven't seen The Undertaker, so where's The Undertaker? Oh, look at that, on the outside of the ring. Now, Carmelo Hayes is going to scale the top rope. Goes for the nothing but net. That should be it. Cover. 2, 3. And Carmelo Hayes has defeated Bron Breakker. He's going to be going in to the #1 contenders triple threat match next week against Baron Corbin and Dijak. And John Cena did get involved, but it was to prevent Solo Sikoa from getting involved. Oh, spear! Spear by Bron Breakker. Not happy with the loss. He just speared the hell out of Carmelo Hayes. Wow. Bron Breakker, I mean, he's back to his feet. He's fine now. He said, win or lose, there's only one badass in WWE. Oh my God! Here he comes, folks. The Undertaker. The gong's just gone off. Uh-oh, the American Badass is coming as well. Get ready. He doesn't do the dead man character anymore, remember? It's only the American Badass he does. Is it going to be him? Is he going to come out? Is the Undertaker going to come out with the motorcycle? There he is! The Undertaker is in the WWE Performance Center. Oh my God. There he is. So you've got Adam Copeland facing off against Luchasaurus, and the Undertaker, yes, the Phenom, the dead man, is in NXT. Not that version, this version. Oh my God. The American Badass is inside the WWE Performance Center. Kid Rock's blazing out and playing. The motorcycles at ringside. The Phenom is about to... Look at Booker T. He's got the biggest shit-eating grin on his face. And look at him. The Undertaker is face to face with Bron Breakker inside of an NXT ring. Wow, he said, you listen to me, old timer. He says, there's only one badass around here, you listen to me. Uh-oh. Undertaker taking the little flag off the microphone because that's how he talks, of course. Taker says, I've been watching you for a long time. He says he's a special talent. Just one thing. What's the Undertaker gonna say? It ain't today. Uh-oh. Oh, what a right hand! Oh my God. The Undertaker held up the microphone and bammed him right in the jaw. Oh my God. And Undertaker setting up for a choke slam. Grabbed him by the throat. Oh, what a choke slam. Unbelievable choke slam by The Undertaker as well. Be careful, he'll make you famous. Wow. Crowd chanting, holy shit. And the Undertaker has just chokeslammed Bron Breakker. He's going to get the microphone again. I tell you what, that was a heck of a punch as well. That was an unbelievable punch by the Undertaker. Crowd chant Undertaker. It's been a while since you see the Undertaker chat with a microphone like that. Listen to the crowd. Adam Copeland, Luchasaurus on the top rope on Dynamite. Taker says, young fella. A little advice. There's always an older, bigger, badder, badass waiting around the corner. He said you just met the baddest of them all. And the Undertaker gets a standing ovation from those in the WWE Performance Center. Don't give him any ideas as well, WWE, I'm telling you. Because he just chokeslammed, he just punched Bron Breakker and chokeslammed him. And the American Badass and Carmelo Hayes closes out NXT this week. And you can tell he's been thinking, oh, I'll do another match. And that's the episode of NXT done. So NXT is now off the air. We go back to Dynamite, which is still on the air right now. They do have an overrun. Nick Wayne is wedging a chair in. Oh, Adam Copeland just go headfirst into the chair. Watch out, Luchasaurus. We just saw a choke slam. Choke slam on Adam Copeland, 2. Oh, Adam Copeland kicks out at 2. So the match is still ongoing. Nick Wayne doesn't realize what's just happened, by the way. This match is still ongoing. Of course, you would assume most people probably turning over. Oh, double big boot. Double big boot. Double big boot by Adam Copeland and Luchasaurus. Crowd are chanting, let's go Adam. Of course, for Adam Copeland, the former Edge. Copeland hits the ropes, going to go for a spear. Oh no, caught off. No, don't do it. He's going to drag Copeland. Don't do it. Choke slam onto the steel steps, perhaps. Oh, no. Sits back. Luchasaurus goes onto the apron. Copeland behind the 8-ball, perhaps. He's still managing to fight back. And oh, spear! Oh, my God. Spear off the steps. That was unbelievable. Let's have a look at this again. He jumped off the apron onto the steel steps, then hit the spear. Wow. That was a pretty impressive move by Adam Copeland there. Hall of Fame career indeed for Adam Copeland. Luchasaurus trying to end that career, says Excalibur. Uh-oh, Christian Cage. Oh, he went to hit him with the TNT Championship. Oh, he hit Luchasaurus in the back of the head with the TNT, and he threw the title back to Christian Cage. Ultimate opportunity. Bryce Remsburg didn't see it. Looks like Luchasaurus is looking at Cage. Is he going to get thrown out? He thinks it might have been Christian. Oh, spear by Adam Copeland. This might be it. Cover. 2, 3, and Adam Copeland picks up the victory. Christian Cage is absolutely seething, but Christian Cage's former best friend, Adam Copeland's won his Dynamite debut. Whew. What a spear. The second one of the match by Adam Copeland. Adam Copeland wins his debut. Oh, once again, though, Nick Wayne, chop block. And now Nick Wayne just teeing off on the head of Adam Copeland. And once again, you've got Luchasaurus, Nick Wayne, Christian Cage cheering them on at ringside, telling what to do. Bell continues to be rung. Who's that? It's Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson. Of course, Bryan Danielson's going to be facing Christian Cage at Collision. Big boot by Luchasaurus. And once again, the numbers advantage is there. Who's coming down now? It's the Blackpool Combat Club. Blackpool Combat Club trying to even the odds. But Adam Copeland's still down. Things have completely broken down on Dynamite. An AEW show ending in a brawl. I'm shocked. Uh-oh. Here's Mogul Embassy, Gates of Agony. It's all kicking off. Swerve Strickland coming down too. This means we're going to get an Elite possibly come out. Look at Christian Cage choking Bryan Danielson. I mean, this has just turned into complete chaos, hasn't it? Oh. It's all literally all kicking off. Hangman Adam Page is now coming out. He's brawling with Swerve Strickland. We've got all sorts going on. We've got pure bedlam. We've got the BCC brawling with the Gates of Agony. We've got Hangman with Swerve Strickland. Oh, Nick Wayne just got speared by Adam Copeland. And Christian Cage is tapping out to the LeBow lock with Bryan Danielson. Is this going to happen at Collision? On Saturday? What the hell is going on? Look at... What is going on? Well, that's the end of Dynamite as well. That was a pretty chaotic ending, to say the least, certainly. So, the show's ended with The Undertaker attacking Bron Breakker. You had, I mean, Danielson locking in the LeBow lock onto Christian Cage of Adam Copeland, like, watching in the background or something like that. I mean, for me, I would say there's probably a touch too much chaos for me, to be honest with you. Nevertheless, that's how the show's got off the air. But guys, what did you make of that head-to-head? As I mentioned, we're going to be going live in just a second on kind of a reaction stream on both of them to kind of try and break down what has happened. Thoughts on both shows. I mean, it was chaotic, to say the least, on both. Some interesting things, some good things, some not so good things. Some could argue as well. But we're going to be live in just a few seconds, as I mentioned, on the post-show stream, just to kind of go through both shows, give some predictions, give some thoughts about both shows, where we think this is going, who we think is going to win as well when it comes to this Tuesday night war as well. With both shows, we knew that both shows were going to be loading up their shows. Indeed, they did. So as I mentioned, we'll be live in just a few seconds for that. Don't go anywhere. I'll be live very, very soon to discuss what happened. I'm out of here. Have a good one. Peace.